presents Grow, the Student Founding Contest. The Grand Final, batch number 9. Starting with 42 teams. Our 10 finalists are competing today for the biggest prize pool ever. Let the show begin. Live from Karlsruhe, please welcome our hosts, Aurel and Merve.
Good afternoon and welcome to the grand finale of Grow 2021-2022.
Such a great Saturday evening or afternoon, I would say. It's going to be a long journey.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen the journey that we have already made. So a lot of impressions we saw. Actually, it's the first time that we saw it too. So we got a bit emotional already.
Yeah,
and it's much more to come. So
yeah,
it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's giving me already goosebumps and such thrilling moments we have had during the last 11 weeks. I'm congratulating every team who made it so far, who joined Grow and take part of this great journey with us in the last 11 weeks.
Absolutely. And we'll try to make it tonight, to come to you as close as possible, as it is possible in those remote times. So we'll have a lot of interaction with you at home, with the jury, with the startups, but also, of course, with the spectators who we're doing this for. But let's take a quick look at the agenda, which is already up. So what are we going to do tonight, actually?
Well, we are going to start, of course, with a warm welcome from our side and our sponsors and from KIT, obviously. And then we will continue with how we're going to introduce how you're going to pitch, what is the rules about that. And then we are going to have a pitch session, the first 5 teams. Then we will have a short break. Then, of course, the other 5 teams who are going to pitch in the last pitching session. Then, of course, I heard we have a very thrilling founders talk tonight.
It is the case. Fascinating people, which some of them are already looking at us. It's going to be great, and we will have the chance to ask you questions. Yeah. So please make sure that you do, because you can have the once in a lifetime opportunity to ask questions live here. We're going to give them forward to the speakers who are all also just joining online, but we'll make it thrilling, we'll make it interesting.
Definitely. The topic of the tonight for Founders Talk is reshaping urban mobility. We will have good, great 2 founders with us. And then, of course, last but not least, the party will start with our award ceremony. And stay with us and have a networking session with us if you want to grab a beer with us in the Zoom chat on a Saturday, great Saturday evening, I would say.
Absolutely. What could you do else? So, but first, let's take a look at who is looking at us. So, first question of tonight. Why did you join us tonight? Because normally we would see a huge crowd in front of us. We would see, maybe a lot of students, younger people, maybe in pupil from school.
Maybe they're supporting also their teams or friends, obviously, or they want to get a sneak peek what we are going to give away tonight.
Absolutely.
That's going to be also very, very interesting.
Maybe they just clicked on the wrong link and saw us, how great we're doing. So I would stay.
I would definitely stay as well.
It should be online. Guys, you can scan the QR code. I know we have a little delay to YouTube, to our stream. So we're going to wait a little bit. But for those who do not know how to use it, please just scan the QR code and we'll see your answers right away. Well,
meanwhile, Aurel, why did you join us for the final? What are you most looking for tonight?
That's a tough question. The after party? No. Well, that definitely is a reason. But now we have questions. You saved me, guys. Thank you for that. Well, wow. I would say amazing answers here.
Amazing!
I said it. It's not going to be the last time. Okay, we have Symp alumni. Great to see you. Yes, for the startups, of course.
How much progress, obviously, the startups have made, which also counts in the Grow competition, actually.
It will.
It will, definitely.
We are also looking forward to it, because we are always seeing the slots Every event we're seeing how they grow and how well since 11 weeks they've done so much, have grown so much, and dreams come true. Well, easy to say, dreams come true, because each and every one of you has put so much into this. The startups have been working really hard. Also, of course, the Grow team sitting right in front of us, behind the cameras. Amazing work. Okay, yeah. There are two things coming out here. It's interesting startups, to see great pitches. Then you're right with us here, exactly right. But there's also two other things actually for you to win, because of course we have great prizes for the startups.
Well,
what do we have?
Well, we have definitely the social media prize, I heard.
Yeah, but that's not for the startups actually.
Of course.
Because that's for the spectators sitting at home. You had the chance to participate in the last 2 weeks or so. To help us a little bit with our marketing on Instagram.
Definitely.
And those who did had the chance to win something, some money.
I think there is more to that later on, but what is going to be awarded tonight is obviously the teams are going to get 10K project budget from us, and also more to that, they will have also bonuses from PionierGarage and its sponsors. But on top of that, I heard that our, of course, spectators who are watching us are going to have a chance to win something else if they guess questions correctly that we are going to ask. But more to that later.
True. Yeah, let's not spill it. But you have the chance. So in the break, we will tell who won the social media prize. And next up, a little bit afterwards, after some greetings, we're going to look on which great prize you can win tonight. So, but let's now take a look at...
We have another question, I guess. We have to get to know people, right?
We don't. I think we'll keep it up for later, the question.
Okay.
Because now
he's the boss over here, you know.
Let's give the floor to some people who want to say some words too. So first I would like to ask Paul. Yeah, you have the floor. It's your turn.
Hi there. Yes, I am the guy who's always talking about the PionierGarage and about our mission to inspire and to educate students to run their own ventures successfully. Now, being that guy, I am incredibly excited to see all the people who had the courage, the ambition and the creativity to participate in this year's Grow contest. Now, we all would have liked to see each other in person this year. Unfortunately, this is still not a viable option. But those suboptimal conditions give us all the more a reason to marvel at the achievements of this year's participants. In the last few weeks, I have seen mere ideas being turned into usable products, and I have seen groups of former strangers becoming teams with a shared objective. Now, I think every participant can be really proud of themselves for creating something that has value for society, at least in the idea case. And I think we all look forward to incredible pitches. I wish you all the best, and we hope that the pitches will be enjoyable.
Thank you very much, Paul.
As always, very inspiring dude.
He is, absolutely. And now we're going to a person who will give us a quick recap of what happened in the last 11 weeks. Actually, he's head of Grow. He's the one who was sitting here until 4 o'clock in the morning, actually, last night, just to get this going. So yeah, without further delay, Jannis, it's your turn.
Dear finalists, dear partners, jurors, mentors, buddies, and dear spectators. Almost 3 years ago, in the spring of 2019, I was walking around the KIT campus. The Audimax was decorated and I was curious about what might be taking place there. The doors were open and there was no reason not to find out what was happening. The hall was completely filled with students, and on the stage were these people with red hoodies and everything in English. Strange. After watching a while, I quickly understood what was going on, and a magical feeling spread through me. I was part of the Grow final, batch number 6. I was amazed that on the one hand there are students who organize such a competition out of their own motivation and drive. And I was thrilled on the other hand that there are teams and students who pursue their visions and dare to take the next step into their own business. And now I'm sitting here in front of you and I'm grateful for the past month in which we as a team gained a lot of experience together with our partners and all people involved. We have planned and organized a lot, and due to the still ongoing pandemic, we have rescheduled and cancelled just as much. Nevertheless, in this 9th batch of Grow, we were able to get more than 140 students to register for the competition, resulting in 42 teams, and 29 of those were encouraged to push their idea to the midterm. And 10 teams are here today in the big final. I'm proud of every person who has joined us on our mission. Especially, KIT Gründerschmiede has stood by us as in the previous years and provided the basic financial security for the competition. Ionas supported us for the first time, not only financially, but also with 2 high-quality workshops. Thanks also to Zeiss, who is again an early partner for us, making possible the increase of our brand Grow through the financing of our new soundtrack, Leap in the Dark. Thanks also to the Allianz Insurance Office around Michael Becker, who again made this competition unique for the participants by organizing a talk with Volocopter founder Stefan Wolf. We are also proud to have the Gründermotor at the Cross University platform here in Baden-Württemberg as our partner. And last but not least, thanks to the Wirtschaftsförderung Karlsruhe, the Sparkasse, and our only private supporter Mark Mengler for co-financing this format. To all other workshop partners, Nils Jessen, PwC, Moja Design Cyberforum, RT, Han, as well as all volunteers, mentors and buddies, thank you very much for your dedication and commitment providing our participants a unique contest. And now let's enjoy the pitches and the show. Next up is Thomas Hirth, Vice President of the KIT.
Well, as Jannis also stated, we have also a nice short video, a motivational video from dear Professor Thomas Hirth, Vice President of Innovation and International Affairs of KIT.
Absolutely.
Dear Grow finalists, dear mentors and partners, dear member of the PionierGarage, dear jurors, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you as a patron of the Grow Startup Competition and on behalf of the KIT Executive Board. We would have liked to welcome all of you personally in Karlsruhe to the Grow Startup Competition, but unfortunately this is not possible at present due to the pandemic. In its strategy, the KIT has clearly formulated that KIT provides knowledge for the benefit of the society and the environment and makes significant contribution to the global challenges facing of humanity. Therefore, KIT is preparing his students through research-oriented courses for responsible positions in society, economy and science. And besides research and teaching, innovation, that means technology and knowledge transfer, is a key element of the KIT strategy. Therefore, innovation and entrepreneurial thinking and acting are deeply rooted at KIT. For example, 3 of the SAP founders, the market leader in end-to-end enterprise application software and a top cloud company, have studied in Karlsruhe, and every year KIT reaches top positions in the Founder Radar and the Startup Monitor in Germany. Innovation is one of 8 fields of action of KIT strategy. In 2017, KIT has adopted his innovation strategy with a strong focus on strategic cooperation with industry, intellectual property, entrepreneurship and startups, as well as culture of innovation. As a Vice President for Transfer and International Affairs, it is also a matter of my heart that we promote culture of innovation and entrepreneurial spirit among our researchers and among you, dear students. Because the power of innovation will help us to solve important problems for humanity in the 21st century, and we have to inspire our young people for this. Prior to this background, we have established the KIT Founders Force, or in German, the KIT Gründerschmiede, in 2013 to support persons willing to found a company as well as to accompany young entrepreneurs on their first steps, students and researchers as well. As of today, the KIT Gründerschmiede is one of the largest activities at German universities, and every year more than 20 3 companies are founded at KIT with a peak value of 50 startups in 2019. Since 2020, we strongly focus on internationalization of startups with a Global Horizon program at KIT, founded by the EXIST program. Today, we expect a very exciting final where it will be decided which of the remaining teams in the startup competition will win the race. With the startup competition grow, the PionierGarage has created a format that positively influences the startup culture at KIT and strengthened it among students. The nearly 30 spin-offs from the students' environment in 2021 speak for this. At the Grow competition, students of KIT, but also students from other universities, have the opportunity to apply with their startup ideas, to implement them with professional assistance if they are successfully accepted, and to further develop their entrepreneurial potential. The startup competition is the largest competition in Germany, which is carried out by students for students. And dear teams, you have worked on your business idea during the past weeks, which were certainly also very exhausting for you and besides your studies. And you have prevailed against other participants and are in the final tonight. We at KIT are very proud that our university group PionierGarage organizes and conducts such an outstanding competition as the Grow Startup Competition. And for this, I would like to express my special thanks to you, dear students, on behalf of the Executive Board of KIT for your commitment. You, dear students, live and shape the culture at KIT and contribute with your ideas and entrepreneurial thinking and acting to our continued success and constant improvement. I'm looking forward to an exciting Grow final and keep my fingers crossed for all of you, dear finalists. And at the end, I would like to thank you for your attention and wish you all the best for the final, and please stay healthy.
Thank you very much for those kind words, Professor Hirth, Paul and Jonas. As always, really inspiring. You've done so much work, all of you, who has helped us very much. But now we want to get to the last round of introduction for people that are especially important for the startups tonight. We want to take a look at the jury. The jury is from every field of the economy. They have a great expertise, but of course they're not the only ones important. So you at home will also have a chance to participate and play a little bit and take the role of the jury. So with our game afterwards.
Definitely.
So let's take a quick look at the jury. I would like to present themselves, just quick presentation, and one question they could answer for me. That would be amazing. The question is, if you would go on a deserted island, which book, if you had the chance to take just only one book, which book would you take with you? So Albert Schuster from Moja, would you like to start?
Hi, Albert.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, yeah, my name is Albert Schuster. I'm an architect and engineer by education, and I work in automotive, in architecture, and now I'm the founder of Moja Design, a studio for product design and architecture. And if I go to a deserted island, I think I would take a book that's called La Gran Marcha, which I don't know how is the German or the English title. It's a book about the civil war in Spain, and I've read it multiple times. So yeah, I think it's a great book, and that's the book I would take to the island.
Perfect.
Very, very interesting,
yes.
Actually. So, the next jury that we are going to get to know him, dear Heiko Binder from IONOS. Hi, Heiko.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone.
Nice we hear you loud and clearly.
Say again?
We hear you loud and clearly, so you can start.
Very good. So yeah, my name is Heiko. I've been working for IONOS for the last 10 years now, formerly known as the 1&1. Now IONOS, a large hosting provider. We're really happy to join the jury here tonight, and it's going to be excited to see who's going to make it to be the winner for tonight. If I were to move to an island and had to take a book, it would probably be Lord of the Rings. And that's because I've read it like 6-7 times when I was a little kid. then didn't look at it for quite some time, but then the movies came out. I was a big fan of the movies as well, so that would be a nice way to catch back up with reading the book once again. It's a long read too.
That's good. Kill the time. Perfect. Then next up, Katharina Schmidt is joining us from Epic AI. Would you like to unmute yourself?
I sure would. You can hear me all right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, awesome to be here. Katharina, as you already said, is my name. I am a co-founder of Epic AI, which is a Karlsruhe-based company looking into the diminishing of insects and to do something about it. Just like most of you guys, I started with an idea and I turned it into a company with the help of so many great people. And that was only like 4 years ago. So I can still picture myself in your shoes and I wish you all the best of luck. I'm also working at the X Lab of Hochschule Karlsruhe and in the founder support. And so in case any of you ever have any questions or need any advice, please just contact me. And yeah, the book I would take is, it is the name of the wind, at least that's what it's called in Germany, der Name des Windes. And I heard it like as an audiobook a couple of times now. And like the first part of it is already like 27 hours. The second and third are just like sort of the same. And I heard it like 3 times in the last half year. So yeah, I have a lot of free time, obviously. So that's what I would hear. And that's also something I recommend.
That's nice hearing that a founder has some free time.
Yeah, exactly.
So congratulations to you.
You can do it all at the gym and in shopping and everything. Like you can do it all the time.
Yeah, audiobooks are great to fill some time.
Yeah, turn the head off a little bit. Thank you, Katharina. And the next jury that we are going to get to know him is Nikolaus Bayer, angel investor and also managing partner from BAI. Hi, good evening.
Hello. I'm very sad that I cannot be in Karlsruhe tonight, but it's more secure to stay at home. So no, I'm based in north of Frankfurt, and yeah, I'm an angel investor since 5 years. Before that, I had my own software company, which we then sold, and I decided to remain in the startup or early stage business, and so I'm supporting new businesses now. At the moment, it's 13 startups in my portfolio. And I'm very much looking at tonight. Maybe there's an additional one for me. And regarding books, of course, the first thing I was thinking about, I need to recommend one of those cool startup books, and which would be Monetizing Innovation. Look at that at Amazon or any other bookstore. But of course, to a remote island, I would take a John Irving book, which is, I mean, I could take all of them, but at the moment I'm reading Owen Meany again.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. Super interesting. So startup set it up. There is some viewers, and probably also in the viewers in our live stream. There can be some people who could be very important for you in the future. So yeah, maybe that's some extra motivation. Markus Lau from Entechnon, who is a PhD candidate. Please, you have the word.
Hi.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, my name is Markus. I actually not a candidate anymore. I finished my PhD a year ago, so but
congratulations.
That's okay.
Sorry for that.
Thank you. But nevertheless, I did my PhD at the Institute of Entrepreneurship at KIT. Then founded my own software startup about almost 2 years ago now. Still working as a mentor in a couple of accelerator programs. So also, if you have anything to do with software, with natural language processing, feel free to contact me. Yeah, always happy to help. The book that I would bring to the Lonely Island would be actually 2 smaller ones. One for good feeling, which is from Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, a book that always yeah, I don't know, keeps me going for a couple of years now. Always tend to grab that book if I'm struggling with my head. But the second one is actually one that I also read a couple of years ago. It's How to Stay Alive on a Lonely Island by Grylls. Has a lot of outdoor tips. So yeah, nothing to do with entrepreneurship, but staying alive on an island has something to do with survival.
Well, should be useful.
So close connection to entrepreneurship there as well.
We are shot with our own gun, literally, at this point.
Yeah, good choice.
Thank you.
you'll have probably the highest survival rate, so congratulations to that.
Definitely. So our next jury that we're going to get to know right now is David Maybach, partner from First Momentum Ventures. Hi, good evening.
Hey there. As you said, hi, I'm David. Thanks for having me. Nice to be here. I'm partner at First Momentum Ventures. Been in the startup and venture capital world for almost 3 years now. First Momentum Ventures is a young VC fund. Actually, we have our roots in Karlsruhe, but now we are scattered across Germany, actually, since the pandemic. And we do pre-seed investments. So we try to work with the startups that we invest in very, very early on. And our main focus is in B2B and technology. So in the last 2.5 years, we have done 25 investments, super exciting companies, founders among them. And I'm sure there will be lots to come in the next years. And looking forward to your pitches.
Which book would you choose if you would go and do it?
This one I forgot. Actually, I think I would choose Brian Sanderson, The Final Empire. It's super nice, and actually it has a lot of pages, so I think that could be a good fit.
Yes, definitely will be. Perfect. Then, last but not least, Michael Becker from Allianz Versicherungsbüro. You have the floor. Good to see you.
Yes, hello. Yeah, hi. Thank you very much. It's very nice to be here tonight as a jury member. I'm Michael Becker. I'm a managing director of an insurance company here in Karlsruhe. I was director at Allianz Insurance a couple of years ago, but now I have my own office, and I'm really in the startup community here in Karlsruhe. So I mentor at Cyber Forum, and I'm also specialized in consulting startups, especially in the first phase and in measures in risk management themes. So that's my job here in Karlsruhe. And what's about the book? I thought about taking one book here in my office. It's Project Gold. It deals with the handball national team, and I'm also handball is my sport. So I'm really hope that the handball national team is gonna win again a gold medal in the next year. So that's one of my book I haven't read, so I will have to read it again.
Perfect. Yeah, you're definitely ready to leave already. You have it right beside you. We hope that won't be necessary. But now let's take another look at our participants.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, we're getting close to pitching, really close now. And, I mean, there are probably a lot of families sitting at home from finalists or friends. So, which last advice would you want to give to the participants? You have the chance now to send some greetings or to tell them to push it, to go for it. Just again, scan the QR code just next to it, or go on slido.com, #growfinal. That is also possible if you're only sitting at your computer. Well, it's pretty, I mean, there are going to come some greetings afterwards.
No.
But what would you give? What advice would you give?
Wow.
To go for it, put yourself out there?
To be honest, probably they're going to get a little bit too excited and going to be probably shaking hands and so on. We're going to see, but you're sitting probably in your living room or your bedroom. Just give it a go, feel comfortable, as if you're presenting the pitch to yourself, not to 1,000, of course, participants who are watching us, hopefully, from YouTube stream. Just feel yourself comfortable at home, put your Mickey Mouse pajamas on underneath, and just pitch it and kill this presentation.
We have some answers coming in. So the biggest one is have fun. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Don't be shy. Yes.
Enjoy the moment.
We got some greetings to Bliro. Go. I think you can translate that to every startup, to every finalist who is here. Go, go, go. Stay cool. That isn't easy. We have some trouble too.
Best of luck, obviously.
Good one too. But I think they've prepared so well. We've seen progress in the last 2 weeks. I don't think they need luck. But thank you so much for participating. Many answers. Now we're coming to another extra motivation for them, because we want to take a look at what they can win again. So wow, we have 4 prizes tonight.
Well, I think this is the most number of prizes that we have, and also the amount of the prizes have increased so far in this 9th time of grow competition. So they chose the right time to compete. Definitely. I would say I would definitely do it if I knew it.
Far over 20k. Yeah, we're looking at that. So go for it. Everyone has the chance. There are 4 prizes, so the sustainability prize won't go to another prize winner. So we have 4 prizes for 10 startups. Take your chances. You will, and now take another chances, but this time the spectators, because you will have the chance to win an e-bike by SUSHI Bike. The SUSHI Bike is a great company, a startup from Munich, and Andy Weins here. Great animation, thank you for that. Perfect. And Andy Weins here is the speaker tonight, the founder of SUSHI Bike. Great person. We've talked to him already. We're looking forward to it. Already, thank you for joining in.
Well, maybe we should explain the task a little bit.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So, as we said, there are going to be 3 prize winners: 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place, and a sustainability prize.
So 4 in all.
Yeah, 4 in all overall. What you have to do is we're going to share a QR code, a link, a screen that where you could put those top 4 candidates for these prizes. If you win them correctly, we will show it in live in YouTube stream if you're going to win it or not at the end of the night. So please watch all the pitches accordingly with a lot of attention, so you could at the end go home with a bike or stay home with an e-bike actually. Yeah,
and the special thing is the SUSHI Bike is not only a SUSHI Bike, but it's a bike branded with the Grow logo. So you'll be the only one who has such a bike. Yeah, I would like to win it, but unfortunately I can't take part.
It's not ethical for us, I guess. Schade.
It isn't. But now let's look. So you have to guess the 4 startups, but on which basis? So on what should you focus yourself, and on what should the startups focus? And that's also the same categories that the jury is going to take a look at.
Definitely. Of course, you're going to be judged for your problem and solution fit, how your idea is approaching to the problem that you're solving of the community of tomorrow, and then of course how your solution is matching to those problems. And the next step will be of course your scalability and business model, market fit accordingly if you're approaching the market well, and then obviously Grow is all about showing your progress in the last 11 weeks. So how far did you made during the Grow workshops, during the Grow support and mentoring program, obviously. And then, of course, team is quintessential to win this prize as well. If your team has the capability of making your dreams come true, making these ventures go a step further after you say goodbye to the Grow competition. And I guess last but not least, of course, we are going to give attention, not only me, our viewers, and also the jury will assess how your pitch was, if it was right on time, how was your body language, and how sexy were your pitch deck.
And make sure to really translate that, because even if you have a great team, you have to show that. We have to see it. Unfortunately, you just have one chance, or maybe fortunately, you have the one chance to show what you're made of, what you've done so far. Make sure to show that to us. And now we have just one last extra motivation to give you, because before the Grow contest, we asked some people who you will probably know to give us a little greetings. And let's take a look at that. Can we? It's coming right on.
Dear founders, dear startups, what a day for you to be here in the Grow final.
Hi, I'm Markus from WorkWise. Participating in Grow was one of the most important steps in our entrepreneurial journey. We had the opportunity to get to know exciting people, learn new things, and further develop our idea.
Welcome to the Grow event in Karlsruhe. Hi, ich bin Mirko Drotschmann. Bei YouTube bin ich als Mr. Wissen to Go unterwegs und ich wollte euch einfach ganz herzlich grüßen und euch viel Mut zusprechen für das, was ihr plant für eure Projekte.
Hi, my name is Max Riedel from the Zeiss Innovation Hub at KIT. I wish you all the best for tonight's pitches.
It's a very intense situation, so you need to convince the jury and also other people that you're building something amazing.
I really wish you could all win today, but after all, you have already won by being here.
I'm very impressed with the quality of the proposals I've seen before, and I'm sure it's going to be a great experience for you. Be authentic, have fun, that's the most important thing.
Geduldig sein. Manchmal klappt es nicht auf Anhieb. Manchmal braucht man ein bisschen länger, bis man genau das hat, was man will und bis die Ziele erreicht werden.
You need to convince the jury and also other people that you're building something amazing. What I can tell you is just enjoy the moment. It's part of building a startup, and sometimes you're so nervous. I was nervous, but let's try just to enjoy and show people how enthusiastic you are about your product, your team, and your mind.
I wish all of you the best of luck for tonight.
And now, good luck to all of you.
All the best for you while pitching. Enjoy the show, and I'm wondering who will be the winner, so I'll watch closely. See you soon.
Bleibt dran, dann kann es auch gelingen. Ganz viel Erfolg euch dabei.
All the best to you and your future from the entire IONOS team. And now, let the games begin.
Wow. Yes, I'm having goosebumps.
Yeah, me too.
Amazing. Great. Thank you so much for that. That's really surprising. And now let's just take, we're ready to do it. Just one quick notice for the startups. Please, you have 3 minutes for your pitch. Afterwards, we will have 5 minutes for the Q&A from the jury. Please stay in those guidelines, in these time limits. Because
otherwise, we have to applause them and say goodbye, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll back it through because we have an after party afterwards and we want to get started.
Definitely. So it's a 3-minute pitch and 5-minute Q&A by the jury. Otherwise, you will be applauded.
Perfect. Then let's hear the first startup. Bliro, you're up.
Team Bliro, are you there?
Hello, hello. Can you hear us?
Yep.
We can.
Nice. Can I just share my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, beautiful. Hi, we are Bliro, and we move your whole company closer to your customers. If companies want to be successful, they need to understand their customers. And who knows better about the customers than the salespeople who talk to them every single day? But salespeople are focused on selling. And even though they're not paid for it, they spend 20% of their time on documenting customer conversation. And once the time has been invested and customer insights have been documented, they are stuck in the CRM system, never to be seen again. But sharing these insights would be so valuable to enable so many different teams with customer feedback. And this is where we come in. Bliro runs locally on the user's computer, where it logs and transcribes customer calls. Before the transcriptions leave the computer, they are anonymized and private information is filtered out. In the cloud, we then analyze these transcripts and extract insights for different stakeholders, which are then shared directly with the tools these stakeholders anyway use. With our privacy-preserving technology, we can analyze customer conversations without the active consent of the meeting participants. And this is our game changer.
We have spoken to more than 200 individuals from customer-facing teams, and we were able to build a base of more than 30 test users who test our product frequently. Furthermore, we have signed 4 LOIs back in September already, and we are in negotiations with our very first potential beta customer. Also, 4 team members have just joined our team and support us in our product development, and we have received governmental grants worth of 100,000 euro to finance our development in the next year. 3 things make us very confident. First, we possess the necessary expertise to make this work. Martin is an expert in machine learning and privacy-enhancing technologies. Second, our GDPR-compliant process was developed together with one of Martin's professors, and it's not just a dream of 2 university students. And third, we already have a legal appraisal from a lawyer that proves our GDPR compliance. We are about to onboard the first users as part of a 6-month beta program. With the help of these beta customers, we are improving the product continuously to be able to launch a better and then more expensive version in 6 months. In the third step, we will work on our product vision with selected beta customers in co-innovation projects. And then finally, in roughly 18 months from now, we plan to launch our product vision to all existing customers. We are Martin and Maurice. Martin owns all tech-related topics, whereas I take care of business development, sales, and fundraising. We have been working together on several projects for the last 6 years. If you want to join us on our journey as a business angel, as a customer, or as a team member, reach out to us and directly schedule a 50-minute meeting via this QR code. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Maurice and Martin.
Impressive start.
Very, very impressive start. These other startups have to, of course, overcome that.
Absolutely. So let's see what the jury is saying. Would you like to ask any questions?
Yes, this is Heiko. I would start with the first question about privacy. Very interesting is that you already received sort of a GDPR compliance certificate. How do you filter out private information that is not directly recognizable, like an account number, any kind of other personal information, before you send the data to the cloud?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the question, Heiko. So what we are doing is that we are having a hybrid approach of an algorithm that uses machine learning, but also a deterministic rule-based approach. And this rule-based approach is basically responsible for filtering out specific identifiers like names or addresses. For mobile numbers, we also have an algorithm that is basically separating on the first few digits. So 0172, for example, this is a common mobile phone number. And so we know that everything that comes after is also a mobile phone. And before the number is completely processed, we already know, okay, a number is coming, and then we're filtering it out beforehand.
Okay. You mentioned that it will take 18 months until you have a 1.0 release, which will be available to the general public. So that's quite surprising, because for a software startup, that's a very long time. So why that?
Yeah. So actually, I can also show the MVP we're working on. We're going to launch right now. We decided for a product-driven approach. So we didn't want to do 1, 2, or 3 very intensive co-innovation projects with single customers, but we built a very first product that already solves the problem of bad documentation by logging the call and making it super easy to add notes manually by the user. So this product doesn't record calls yet. And we want to gather training data. So next feature, for example, will be that users can record audio snippets of the call to document them and share them. And with this training data, we can then improve the models, because the product we built in the beginning, the prototype, is a prototype and has to be adapted to different customers, to the words they use, to the language they use. So it's very important for us to gather this training data to then be able to launch this product, the product vision that we showed in the beginning, together with these customers. So that's why it will take so long. Yeah.
Would you, if I may add a second question immediately, if you had more money available, would you be able to do it faster?
Exactly, then it would make more sense for us, because it would be super risky for us who want to build a long-term company to start with this risky project-driven approach. That's why we built the product first, which is more likely to generate first revenue and so on. If you would have investors, then it would be a different story. Yeah.
On your Grow website description, you mentioned that you don't need any kind of mentoring. So I was wondering, how does that come, and what are your thoughts about the gaps in your team and white spots that you need to further down the road?
Yeah. So actually, I didn't know that we put that there. We actually have mentors. So we are both based in Munich right now. I'm a manager more scholar at Unternehmertum in Munich. So there are many quite successful founders who spend their time with us. We go over sales material. They consult us basically on the next steps. So we need additional team members. We need team members on the product side and the development side. We also need somebody who might be more experienced when it comes to the whole sales topic, because in the end, it will be an enterprise sales model, right? You have to invest a lot of time and a lot of effort with these customers. So sales and engineering power, I think, are the most important things we need. And we have mentors in Munich, but we are super open for mentors also from Karlsruhe. We both studied at KIT in our bachelor. We're also part of PionierGarage, so we're also still very well connected to the KIT.
Cool, thank you. Sorry for this misunderstanding then.
Our mistake, sorry.
One question, how much of your progress is due to Grow or happened in the time of Grow, which is something that we have to rate?
Yeah, so we have this traction slide. Maybe we were a bit too fast. So we work very close with potential users. We do a lot of interviews and we also do a lot of testing. We test the UI and different things. And you see the big numbers up there and the small numbers are the things that happened since the midterm. So we did a lot of interviews, a lot of testing, and we built the very first product.
Sorry, if you take your entire company or the progress you've made so far, the point where you add and say that's 100%, how much of the rest happened during Grow? How many percent?
Since we basically had big shift,
product development.
Yeah, basically we had a big shift in November or something, and basically everything that where we are right now was happened during Grow. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Since we're coming close to the end of the 5 minutes, we'll cut the questions now. There have been some very interesting. So we want to give the chance to the next startup.
Paul, Team Symp, are you there?
Yes, we're there. Hello.
You can go. Have fun.
Okay. Do you see the slides?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Approaching someone you are attracted to in real life is hard, and thus many people waste a lot of dating opportunities. We want to change that. Symp allows you to get in touch with every person you come across and find attractive, as long as they want to get to know you as well. No more awkward situations, no more thinking about it as pickup line, and no more wasting your time with people who aren't even interested in you. Just straight efficiency. The way we do this is by showing the user everybody who is currently around them within eyesight. If they like someone and want to use the opportunity, but the situation just doesn't feel right, they can just Symp them. And if they get Symp back, it's a match, and both can continue knowing that the feeling is mutual. What's also really cool about this concept is that you don't need dating profiles. The only thing you need to sign up for a Symp is a profile picture so that other users know who you are on their screen. No fake bios, no fake images, no bullshit. So why are we qualified to build this thing? Our co-founder Bertil and I have over 4 years of real-world app development experience and have so far released multiple projects on both app stores with tens of thousands of users. What's also really important is that we can bootstrap and we're part of the target audience, so we know exactly what our users need and can easily get in touch with them to collect valuable feedback. Our business model is very, very simple. We will put a clear focus on growth at the beginning. Nevertheless, we will also monetize right from the start. We'll do this by limiting the amount of Symps a user can perform. If they run out of Symps, they can either buy more directly, watch an ad, or invite their friends. So we either make money or expand our user base. In terms of progress, the past 11 weeks of Grow have been huge for us. We started out with nothing. I guess it was the kickoff event that inspired me, because a few days later, I came up with the idea for Symp. From there on, everything went extremely fast. I met my 2 co-founders, we decided to take part in Grow, and we were able to build an MVP ready for use in only 1 month. I even learned to code in Flutter to keep up with these coding maniacs. After midterm, we continued developing exciting features like symping your contacts and the hot places feature.
Hi, if you can, we have a little technical issues because I don't think the stream has any sound anymore. So I would like the Zoom participants, die hören uns nicht? The Zoom participants maybe to keep their questions until we have sound again, we have some little technical issues. So for those who are participating in a little game we posted before, they have the chance to do it now because we have having technical issues. So that's a shame. So Zoom doesn't hear us. We are working on it. Kannst du mal irgendwas machen? Okay, just 1 second. We know we can hear you, but we'll be back in just 1 minute. Perfect. Yeah, that's a shame. We are hearing clearly. Nicht beide bewegen. Okay. Perfect. Very nice.
That's sorry.
We are hearing something.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi. One question to the Zoom room because I think the sound is back. Did you continue to talk the whole time, or was it? Did you pause?
They are still talking. They're answering questions.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Perfect. Could you repeat those questions? Just again, all of them, because we lost the sound to the stream. 2 minutes ago. Or maybe just a little sum up. If someone would be, maybe some of the jury could sum up the questions and the answers, so that maybe it is still a fair game. Do we have sound on stream again? Does the stream hear us again? Yes, we do. So very sorry for the technical issues. We're still experimenting, but now I know you didn't hear the last bits of the pitch and the questions. So I would like to start over the questions again. If you could just do it as realistic as possible. I think David, you started, so just ask the first question again.
Okay. How do you try to solve the empty dance floor problem of the platform, especially when you have like this geographical constraint?
Yeah, we start on our campus at KIT and visit lectures to show the app to as many people as possible so they can download it all at once and use it right away. Another thing that we want to do, or something that we implemented, is the hot places feature. This is a map which shows you where many other Symp users are at the moment. So it's good for clubs and bars, which we want to collaborate with, to be a place where many users are at, because when the user look at our map and see, oh, and this place, at this place, there are many other Symp users, and we should go there. It's very good marketing for clubs and bars.
Okay, so please, the next question that has been, we didn't hear.
I have a question.
Either, so perfect.
I have a question about the price model. Like you said that you can buy some account, and how is your business model working?
Yeah, you can show the slide. Yes, in order to get more users, we limit the amount of Symps from the beginning. So Symps is something like likes. You can use them to like another person on the map, and if they do the same with you, you both get a match. And because we limit them because this way our users can use invite links to get more and spread the app. And you can also obviously buy them. For example, you can buy a package of 10 Symps, or you can buy 24-hour unlimited Symps, and this will be all around all between 2 and like 6 to 7 euros. And yeah, that's
so our revenue will come mostly from in-app purchases, but also from ads. The biggest part will be those directly bought Symps.
Yeah.
So you're going to create the addiction factor then and make people hooked up on buying more and more. And my question is about the profile structure. Very interesting. You said no need for a profile. All you need is a picture, because then you match based on the picture. But what if it turns out that there's just not a match at all with who you will end up meeting? Have you done some research to validate that model?
I'm not exactly sure if I understood the question correctly, but our concept works like this. So you meet someone in real life, you see someone on the street or someone you already know, and then the only thing you have to do is find them on your screen through the profile picture, and then Symp them. And if they Symp you back, it all works out. And about the validation part, we actually went around in Karlsruhe and asked random strangers what they thought about our concept. That was pretty awkward at some points, but yeah, we got feedback. And most of people actually said that they will install and use the app because they think it has like this more real life approach, which they like. And also that they had friends they would recommend this app to. So this is our validation part. I hope this answers the question. If not, feel free to ask more.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what if you have the disappointment of simping 3 times and then you meet up and then you discover, hey, the first look was fine. You were sort of attracted to each other, but it just doesn't match at all, because that seems to be the value proposition of some of the other platforms, to map against a certain profile that seems to be a good fit.
Okay.
Yeah, so we want to follow the approach that you only connect with people you know in real life, and not some random algorithm which shows you other people you don't even know about, and you didn't even know about until that point.
Okay.
So that means you can still get rejected, but just not in your face.
Yes,
but on the phone.
People just won't Symp you then. So you Symp someone and you just don't get anything back. This is like the rejection. And the good part about this is that the other person doesn't know about it. This is only one side. If you Symp someone, the other person doesn't know that you Symp them. And so it really overcomes.
But how do they decide that they like me back?
Just by looking at you and finding you attractive as well.
Oh, okay. I think now I get it. So I don't get like an email saying somebody Symped me, but like I have to, both parties have to actively look at their phone and try and Symp to each other.
Actually, they look at each other. For example, if two people are at the gym and they see each other regularly, and then they both know, okay, I like this other person. I just look them up on Symp and like them. And if both do this, they will get a notification, and if one person doesn't do it, then nothing happens.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for being so generous and doing it all over again. Thank you again. Sorry again for the little technical issues.
Well, since we figured out the technical issues, and also we finally found out how to find your girlfriend, finally, with Symp, obviously, we can go on with the next. You have one off. Sorry for the girlfriend. So, next startup. Who's the next startup?
Next up is Mozz. Yes, you have the floor.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Very nice.
Good. We spend 90% of our time indoors. In these places, the air quality is up to 5 times worse than outside. So being indoors is like drinking a glass of really dirty water. You wouldn't drink dirty water, but why do you breathe in dirty air? That's exactly why we came up with a way to improve the air quality as well as your well-being in an ecological way. In our opinion, it's time to rethink how we see air purifiers. I'm thrilled to introduce the Mozz.
The Mozz purifier filters fine dust with Mozz and increases the humidity. The fine dust is metabolized, so we have a filter that fine dust is metabolized, so we have a filter that does not only clean your air, but also cleans itself. You know what else is awesome about our Mozz? After the filter's lifetime, all that remains is organic waste. No plastic that lands in the oceans or landfills like with traditional air purifiers. We will not only make profit by selling the device. We use a special Mozz which needs to be changed about once every 8 months. It will be available through our exclusive subscription offer on our online shop. No need to worry about expired air filters anymore.
Sorry, I had a technical issue. Since midterm, we further developed the Mozz and built up to 6 new types of it. With our PR efforts and by reaching out to many people, we were able to scale up to a network of almost more than a dozen pilot customers who are already willing to pay. What else happened since midterm? We wrote our business plan, have dealt with the topic of certifications, and had talks with several founders which have already brought hardware products to market. We further developed the technology, so we got the customized PCB from a manufacturer and are able to order it in large numbers and other things. We are already implementing the feedback from our pilot customers and are preparing for our market launch at the same time. As future entrepreneurs and engineers, we feel committed to develop sustainable solutions in order to live on Earth for many more years. If you are excited about the Mozz, feel free to join our waiting list on mozz-luftreiniger.de. Thank you.
Very much. Yes, we have to live with just a little bit technical issues. Don't worry, it was clear, and we completely understood what you wanted to say. Now, the jury, do you have any questions?
I have a question about the market size. What do you think? How large is your market? What are the people that you're addressing? And where will I in the future be able to buy the Mozz?
So the air purifier market sold up to 1 million devices in 2020, which generates a revenue of 166 million euros. So since Corona, the purifier market is experiencing a real hype. So air purifiers finally entered the mainstream.
Yes. The air purifier will be available on our website, but in the future we are planning to bring it into the stores also.
Do you have a benchmark on the ratio of space that you need for the product to place and the purification level that it can reach, like cubic meters of air purified in an hour or so, and compared to other solutions, like, because it seems like a big product, and when I think about air purification, it's like I just want to have it, and I would maybe want a really small device to do it. So that's one of my hypotheses about this. Do you disagree, or?
The current model is made for rooms with 15 square meters, but it's easy for us to scale up with including more Mozz in the Mozz. And so it filters 50% of the finders from the air. We've also did measurements where you see the positive impact of the air from the Mozz.
Do you need water, like a water tank in the shape so that the Mozz keeps alive, or how does it work?
The actual prototype contains no water tank. You have to water it yourselves, but it's easy because there is a LED which shows with red or green if you need to water or not.
At the moment, we have a couple of problems with the watering system, which told us our beta tester told us. So we are working on a fully automatic watering system.
Okay, if there aren't any other questions.
One more question,
yes.
I think we have a bit of time left.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah, sure.
So it seems you have a combination of sort of a ramp up and marketing challenge to overcome. So to a certain point, you need to make sure people are aware of you and then buy the product. But then once you hit a certain sort of success, then how do you ensure you can scale up manufacturing? Because it's not a pure software product that easily scales. You actually have to increase manufacturing. Have you thought about how to grow that?
Yes, we want to build up our own factory, manufacturer. And yes, so since now we only can build up to a couple of products every week, but we want to scale up. Yeah.
And have you looked into any ideas on how you could possibly scale up if you are successful in the market?
We are not at the point. That's not the thing. We are currently on other more important things to launch the product. So, and that's a point where we're thinking later.
Okay, fair point.
So I heard that you're taking fine dust out of the air in a room. Is it like have you done studies or benchmarking on how much that is actually, and anything else that you're taking out of the room than generally fine dust?
If we did measurements where we could see that the Mozz is filtering 50% of the finders from the air, and also have a positive impact to the humidity and cools down the air. So at the summer you have a device which also is good at a desk, for example.
Thank you.
It's made out of wood currently, and you're also using some chips to, well, have some certain technology in it. How affected are you by certain resource scarcities that we currently see on the market that, for example, target wood and chips?
So could you repeat your question, please?
How affected are you by certain developments on the market when it comes to your resources or raw material like wood and also the chips or the computer chips that you're using for the product?
Currently, we know that the computer chips are not available everywhere, but we hope that at the point where we go market launch, that this
quick answer, please. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. We have to cut you down, but I think you had a chance to answer a lot of questions, which always helps.
Thank you.
Always gives a good impression.
Definitely. Thank you to Team Mozz. And the next team is?
Pembe, it's your turn.
Team Pembe, are you there?
Maybe they need some time to just unmute themselves. We repeat, Pembe.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, great.
But we can't see you. I don't know if that is intended. Now we can see both screens. So we
Okay, great. Now.
Yes,
yeah,
perfect. Very nice.
Okay. So, can I start?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we are Pembe, and we are building an algo trading platform for quantitative traders. And some key points are, every day there is a trading volume of $170 billion in the crypto markets. So Pembe is acting in this field and offering access to trading tools. And our MVP is finished, and we onboarded the first 8 quants. So first of all, what is a quant? A quant trader is a specialized trader who applies mathematical and quantitative methods to evaluate financial products or markets. So let's take an example. Andrea is a quant trader and she trades soybeans. She uses historical trade data for soybeans. She uses also agriculture data, but also weather data. She writes her trading strategy, she codes it and go live. And the trade is fully automatically executed. A quant trader have different backgrounds, but they have 2 main problems in common. One is the landscape of fragmented tools. So they are using different tools locally and orchestrate the output for their trading strategies, and also have a slow testing environment. So quants want to test and develop investment hypotheses with faster time to market access. So we build a cloud solution, let's call it one-stop shop for quants. And since the midterm, we have our MVP is finished. We onboarded 8 quants. And we have a cooperation with Stuttgarter Börse and Sova Labs. It's a Bison crypto app. And yesterday we got our LOI from the Stuttgarter Financial. That's a subsidiary of the Stuttgarter Börse. And after grow, we want to finish our paper trading. So my name is Özer, and I'm responsible for marketing and business relations. And Joshua is our product owner. Quant and Reimer is our engineer. So let me show you a small demo of our product that you can get a. So on the left side, you have our live editor, and you can create a new strategy, or you can select an existing strategy. You select your pair trade, your start and end date. On the bottom is the terminal. So you run your back test for this algo, and we're trading Ethereum on US dollar base, and we generate a strategy tier sheet where we can show you all the cumulative returns, like shape ratio, your returns, your Sortino rate. And yeah, that's the prototype, and it's currently full working with 8 quants. That's what we are currently doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very point on time.
Questions?
How many quants are there on the world? And have you thought about how do you intend to monetize your offering?
Yeah, I will show you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we made a research, and there are around about 30 million quants, and there are touch points with quantitative methods. So there are professionals, but also prosumers. And for the European area, we have 5.4 million. And for the entire DACH region, it's 1 million. We aim to generate 80,000 quants within 3 years with a share of 8%. And our monthly rate is for the pro version, €99, and for the premium version is 199. I know the last time we are planning with marketplace, but we are currently focusing more and more into a B2B niche as a SaaS tool. And yeah, that's currently our numbers.
Hi, Özay, I have a question. Like, do you need any regulation license, or do you need any license about that? Can you tell us something about the regulation system?
Yeah, you need two things. First is a regulation under BaFin license. It's on the Wertpapiergesetz 64K. It's the name. And you need also a second participant. It's called Kryptoverwahrungslizenz. We are currently talking with Donau Capital in Munich, which try to help us. And also with the Stuttgarter Börse, we are searching for a solution how we can use their license under their umbrella. That's currently the status what we are working on. So, yeah.
I would be interested in learning about your vision. I really like the vision that you shared the last time, and I was wondering whether anything changed about it. Because I didn't hear about it this time.
The vision is the same, but the topic is so complicated that we can't start with a marketplace to democratize access to wealth. So we split it in different phases, and we start first. As we have 3 stages of development. We start with the premium version, which includes live editor, backtest, and paper trading. And the second stage is the same like premium, but with live trading. So you need a regulation, BaFin license for that. And the third stage is for next year to get the license to build a marketplace where we get commission fees from the quants, but also performance fees from the investors. That's the big vision idea what we have. But we need to focus on the start to get a narrow target group. So that's the reason why we choose to go first with the SaaS solution.
Thank you.
Hi, Özay.
Hi, David.
Is there a product which is doing a similar thing for non-crypto quant traders? Like some playbook that you can take and use for a different market now?
Yeah. There are some different participants on the market. So, for example, maybe Joshua, you want to describe this sheet better than me?
Yes. So we are. So actually, it's we have competitors, but we are the only one to do it with native Python code. So on every other platform, the quant traders need to learn a whole new language, and this costs a lot of time. And also, they have built some code on his local editor in Python, and they need to rewrite everything in the new pseudocode, so we call it, and also the pseudocode has less options than native Python code, and also on a lot of competitors the optimizer is missing, so the quants needs the optimizer to find in a fast time the best parameters on the strategy, and also the best, so to find in a fast time the best trading strategy. Yes, and also there are competitors, they have a non-code visual editor, so you are more limited as to write it in
Thank you very much. I think that was a long enough explanation. Sorry for cutting you off. But we have just one last startup before the little short commercial break. So let's take a look at Aufklärwerk.
Team Aufklärwerk, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Perfect. We hear you, by the way.
And see you. Perfect.
Awesome. Great. Can you see our presentation?
Yes, we can. Let's go.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Felix, this is Johannes, and together we would like to present to you Aufklärwerk. We want to develop a digital platform for social organizations to fight discrimination and prejudice in our society. First of all, what is the problem we try to solve? Our problem is, the problem we found was that there's teachers in schools who want to find workshops as additional content for the lectures, but they cannot find those workshops or lectures or similar things in the internet. On the other hand, we have NGOs and social workers who on their side have big problems to have their offerings found in the internet, because both these parties, they barely have any time, they're overwhelmed with search engines, and they have very low expertise when it comes to the internet. And so we want to help those parties to connect to each other. We want to help those parties to find each other, to maximize their impact by developing Aufklärwerk.org, a digital platform, sort of the Airbnb for social organizations and NGOs. This is our team, and together with those amazing students, we managed in the last couple of months some very, very remarkable things. First of all, the most importantly, we developed our website prototype, which is now online and deployed. We also promoted our first NGOs partners on our social media channels. We expanded our network, acquired 10 additional NGOs, and on top of that, got our first business partner who is really interested in funding us, which is amazing. This is the platform as of now, and we deployed it now and can be found under Aufklärwerk.org. We validated our idea and prototype with our 30 customers. They confirmed that with the help of Aufklärwerk, they can focus on their core activities. In addition, the internet presence turns from an issue to an opportunity, thanks to the easy and simple search process on the platform. This way, suitable offers for teachers can be found, booked, and help in the fight against discrimination. But the question is, how big is the market of our customers? For the beginning, we want to focus on schools. Our target market includes around 1,000 schools, which we plan schools in the first 5 years. We want to reach them with the help of networks, print media, social media, and press. With this, we want to have an impact on around 340,000 students. Our business model has 4 revenue streams. One is the commission, which we plan to start charging in the second year to generate some network effects first. The other revenue streams are made up of funding.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Maybe the jury can put it into the questions, but we have to cut a pitch off now. But jury, you have the floor now to ask some questions.
What is it that you would like to add?
Hey. We can finish real quick with our go-to-market plan and outlook. So first of all, now we want to have our website marketable, which means we want to include our booking system. We also want to include our payment system so that the bookings of the offerings can now run over our website. On top of that, we want to start additional marketing campaigns to help our organizations, which are listed on our website, on our platform, to be distributed across the organizations which are interested in booking their offerings. We want to acquire additional NGOs, have our first mediations, our first bookings on our platform, and in the long term, really, really help to empower the efforts of all the organizations in Germany, all these social NGOs, and to really, really make an impact to fight prejudice, discrimination, and in the long term become the central discrimination platform in Germany. Thanks. This will be our last slide.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how do you reach your target market? Because it looks like to be very expensive to reach a target market. Like, how do you want to do this?
For us, a very, very important factor in that are networks. Both groups that we try to address, the offering side and the searching side, they operate a lot in networks. And for us to step into these networks, to build up our own network and to acquire additional context is a very, very meaningful step. We started with that. On the searching side, on one hand, we managed to go on to schools, went to teachers, to social workers, also to the state, to the city of Karlsruhe, for example. And there we managed to get into distribution lists. We managed to get into big network to reach multiple people with one mail, with also analog media as well. On the other hand, we have social organizations, and all of those face the same issues as us, funding, which is a big problem. And they all need to work together, they need to collaborate because we all have the same goal. And therefore, we can also leverage those networks and to collaborate with those social organizations, since we all try to achieve the same mission. And we also managed to get into those networks, talk to those people, and also reach a lot of more people than we initially thought, and continue to do so.
So if I understand right, a lot of that is also personal connections and so being an ambassador and reaching out. But if you look at large NGOs and the marketing budgets, they need to really address a larger audience. Just looking at the marketing budget that you put on the screen a little earlier, do you not believe you need much more marketing to get mass adoption? Because at the end, it's a matchmaking process. So you also have the hen and egg problem, right? You need to have a certain offer to provide the value.
Absolutely agreed. I think what really plays into our advantage is that we try to help organizations to achieve more. On the other hand, organizations, social organizations, also want us to achieve more, since it is a bit bilateral profit. We both profit. They profit from us being more marketable, and we profit from them coming onto our website. And therefore, it's sort of a common approach. Our customers, both the searching ones and also the offering ones, they try to help us, since it plays onto their advantage as well. And I think this is really, really big. And it also helps that right now, teachers, as our first target group, they right now, if they book an offering and have an offering for their class, they tend to go beyond that and talk to their friends, also fellow students from their past university days, talk to them about this offering, and these other teachers are also going to book this offering as well. This is how it goes now. We verified that in our need assessment, also with our our hypothesis assessment, and we plan to go the same way, to have our platform by mouth, also via mail, via media, be distributed across those networks.
Can you explain again how you're going to generate revenue?
Yes, definitely. So as we talked before, we have 4 different revenue streams. First of all, commission is going to be our main revenue stream in the upcoming time. First of all, right now, we want to build up network effects, and those network effects later on are going to play out with this commission model, which we already verified with NGOs. They're more than willing to pay a commission for the mediation of offerings. On addition to that, since we are a social entrepreneurship startup, we get funding from state, also from different initiatives, from different Stiftungen, and also business partner donations are the last step in our revenue stream.
So regarding the funding, do you already have secured some funding, or do you have some special funding programs you're looking forward to?
We also already managed to get funding by the Karlsruhe Sport Club, which is a football club in Karlsruhe. They already funded us over the Karlsruhe Volkswohnung. On top of that, we talked to the city of Karlsruhe, and they also funded our marketing approaches. So we also got an agreement from them to fund our...
Sounds great. A lot of funding already.
Thank you, team of Cleverwerk. Such a strong 5 pitches that we have seen in the first round of the pitches of tonight's Grow final, obviously. But I hope our viewers out there who got a little bit problem, sorry about that, with the YouTube stream and via Zoom, hope they gave more attention, even more attention tonight, because don't forget, you have a chance to win a SUSHI Bike tonight. You have to just log in pioniergarage.de/win to win a SUSHI Bike if you guess the top 4 teams of the night who are going to be rewarded.
Absolutely. But that's not the only thing you're going to win, because now we're going to take a little break of 10 minutes. And this break we'll have some partners of us who are going to present themselves. So these are going to be founding associations all over Baden-Württemberg or Germany. So if you're interested in them, please stay, because there's also, in the next 10 minutes, the social media prize is going to be given away, or the winners are going to be announced. So please stay tuned for that, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Until then, have fun.
Bye.
So that was already quite impressive. Now I'm curious to see what's coming up next. I'd like at this point to invite all of you, no matter if you're a winner or not, all Grow teams, to visit us Sunday at the Zeiss Innovation Hub at the North Campus of KIT. We would really like to support you in your endeavor. We have a makerspace, we have experts in robotics, in smart farming, in integrated photonics, and we have good coffee. We're always open for a chat. So if you're interested, just come by at the North Campus. And now, looking forward to the further pitches.
Hi there! Welcome in our pitching break. Like in every good commercial break, we have prepared a lot of exciting commercials for you. Well, why am I here again? Now, since there are no current pitches, now is the perfect time for us, that is the PionierGarage, to do some shameless self-advertising. You are a student. You want to meet new people. You want to discover your own entrepreneurial potential and test the waters in the world of founders and startups. Well, fortunately, I have just the place for you, the PionierGarage. We are a growing group of students interested in entrepreneurship. Not surprisingly, a lot of our former members end up founding their own ventures and doing so successfully. If you want to create exciting events, meet a new peer group of like-minded people, and gain valuable experience along the way, visit www.pioniergarage.de. Again, that's www.pioniergarage.de. There you can find all our contact details, and you can find a link to our WhatsApp group in which we will provide you with further information. And now I'm happy to introduce some of the people whom you are likely to meet if you decide to join us.
Hi fellow pioneers. PionierGarage is all about building successful startups. Therefore, we offer working spaces and offices for early stage startups inside our incubator, the Launchpad. The Launchpad is a unique ecosystem of entrepreneurship interested students and other startups working here, in which innovation can bloom. Therefore, I'm happy to announce that the winning Grow team gets the unique chance to work inside one of our offices for 6 months. Let me take you with me into the office. So this could be your office if you win today. Further, we also encourage other teams to apply for one of our offices on our website, pioniergarage.de/launchpad. Thank you for your attention. Next up, Brandon is going to tell you something about learning opportunities with PG Academy.
Good evening, dear finalists, jury and everyone watching. I hope you're all enjoying this event so far. I'm here today to introduce you to the PionierGarage Academy. Some of you have already heard of us before, especially if you attended the kickoff, but some of you did not. So what, or should I say who, is the Academy? We are a team of startup enthusiasts who have set ourselves the goal of teaching students the basics of startup founding in an effective and understandable way, in order to take away their fear of starting their own business. To achieve that goal, we hold and develop challenge-oriented workshops and maintain a publicly accessible knowledge database. So if you're someone who wants to gain more practical knowledge about startups or support the local startup scene here in Karlsruhe, join our team. Even if you're completely new to startups, it's no problem at all. We operate under the motto of learning by teaching. You can find more about us by scanning the QR code on the screen or just message me on LinkedIn. With that, enjoy the rest of the event and good luck to all teams.
Hello friends,
this is Founders Club Freiburg. First, we would like to take a quick look at a few past events we've done together and note that we really appreciate the collaboration between Karlsruhe, Mannheim and Freiburg. It was great fun for us to visit you at your launchpad during last year's Compass and explore the Karlsruhe startup ecosystem together with you. In addition, the Founder Friday, organized by our friends from Mannheim, where we met numerous members of the PionierGarage, was a complete success in our eyes as well. That's us, the Student Initiative for Green and Social Entrepreneurship in Freiburg. And just like you, we organize a number of different events for the startup community. Let's take a quick look at a few of our past events, because these events are most likely coming up again this year. At which startup did you have your first job? Or is that still to come? If so, you might want to check out the next edition of Unternehmenslust, where we bring together students and startups. In your opinion, a company's independence as well as value orientation are indispensable? Then check out the next edition of our Purpose series. Women's empowerment is important to you? Then Women in Leadership is the right place for you. We would definitely be happy if we meet once or twice this year, be it at an event in Karlsruhe, Mannheim, Freiburg or somewhere else. And that was Spark, our Grow competition in Freiburg, so to speak. We are aware of the organizational effort behind such an event. So first of all, congratulations to the whole Grow team for once again managing to put on an incredible event. Respect. And also to all the teams. Congratulations for making it this far. And now, of course, good luck at the demo day. We are keeping our fingers crossed. And don't forget, having fun is half the battle.
Hey, it's Martin and Justus, directors of the Founders Club Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, the financial capital of Europe. But we have more to offer than that. An amazing entrepreneurship ecosystem, full with exceptional founders, impact-driven investors and disruptive innovators. Frankfurt is even the only city besides Berlin and Munich in Germany to have a unicorn, Clark. The Founders Club Frankfurt is the entrepreneurship association of the Goethe University. Here at the Founders Club Frankfurt, students can
participate in speeches from exceptional founders,
improve their skills with workshops,
develop ideas and pitch them to the 180 members of the community. For the first time in Frankfurt, we will unite the students and the startup ecosystem. On June 18th, we invite you to join us on the Campus Western. You, students, founders, investors and innovators. We get to know each other and learn from each other's experiences.
It will be a full day of workshops, speeches, keynotes, speed datings, even an after party at the end. You will be able to get to know unique founders, impact-driven investors, and exceptional innovators.
Come to Frankfurt Campus West End and shape the future of innovation.
See you.
Soll ich das sagen?
Nein, ich krieg das hin. Das klappt. Du musst auch nach vorne gucken.
Ja. Okay, warte.
Musst du jetzt
Hi there, you're interested in meeting amazing and successful founders? Then come to our weekly Founders Nights at 7:15 p.m. each Tuesday and meet amazing people like Ingmar Hirth, inventor of the COVID-19 vaccine technology, or Maximilian von Richthofen, the CEO of Finanzen.net. We'll see you next Tuesday at 7:15 p.m. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the social media giveaway! I'm Annalena and you may remember me from the midterm. I'll be your Glücksfee this evening and we'll pull the names of the winners of our social giveaway out of this magic box. So to keep it short, you can win a gift card, Amazon gift cards of 50 euros and 10 Heedits. With those you will never have problem with insect bites again. An innovation from the KIT. Okay, so drums please. The first winner of the Amazon gift card is Lullaby of Nights. Congratulations. The winner of the first of 10 Heedits is Caroline BLTZ. Next one is Marvin WCH. Then we have Yannick Neverdorf. I'm a one-man band, by the way. Next is Lorenz Kopp 1999. Then we have INCHRVS. Next is Moritz Pictures. And Dirk Beike. It's Dome 4. Slop Smoke 3. And last but not least, Daveco. Congratulations. If you want to get your prize, please contact our Instagram profile in the next 24 hours. And up next are Aurel and Merve.
Let it grow like a small seed in the soil, like the Big Bang in the void, a giant leap in the dark. We will make it, 'cause when we fall we grow.
Welcome back, guys.
Yes, perfect. I hope you enjoyed the little commercial break. We enjoyed it because, yeah, you won. Congratulations to the winners of the social media prize. Congratulations for that. Thank you for helping us with the marketing. There's another prize, an amazing SUSHI Bike, still able to be won. So take part in the quiz, in the winning ceremony. So perfect.
Definitely.
We have 5 more startups to go. We start with
Safran Matters.
Exactly.
Guys, are you there?
Welche ist das da hier, oder?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
There is.
The stream? Our presentation?
I'm not seeing it yet.
It's loading.
Yes.
Yes.
Now the stream sees everything. Perfect.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Saffron, the red gold from the Middle East. 90% of the most expensive spice in the world originates from Iran, a country where labor has no real value and many people, even children, are exploited under slave-like working conditions. With our alternative cultivation and harvesting concept, we automate these processes and enable production on a large scale, even in Germany. We make it possible for customers to choose a fair and sustainable product and provoke a change of system in Iran. Next up, Frida introduces our first prototype.
As you see in the video, we have used my farming expertise and resources to create a saffron test field. This helps us to validate our harvesting robot, Oscar, during the development. The heart and brain of the robot are the computer vision pipeline and decision-making algorithm. Oscar detects saffron flowers in real time and cuts them at the optimal position.
According to our measurements, Oscar is already able to match the costs of a single worker by only substituting the harvesting process. With future milestones implemented, we can cut the costs of separating the blossoms and field maintenance. This should lead to savings of 30% compared to manual work. We will directly sell our high-tech niche product to saffron farmers and offer modular hardware features in an add-on style. Additionally, we provide expertise in cultivation for future saffron farmers and raise awareness for the downsides of imported saffron. This will disrupt its market share and shift it towards sustainable saffron produced with our product. During Grow, we have worked on different aspects of our solution and achieved many milestones. Firstly, we improved our robot by implementing a remote-controlled powertrain, had our first consultation with an attorney to evaluate applying for a patent, and did our financial projections. We had 4 interviews with saffron farmers in Germany and Switzerland, during which we validated the demand as well as the pricing for our product. Finally, BNN and RNZ want to visit us next week and write a story about our technology. The Click IT magazine invited us to do a 15-minute talk. Next, we launched our webshop and sell the side product from our test field, sustainable Badischer Safran. Our next steps will be ensuring financing, either by research funding or cooperation with other companies. We want to gather leads and get ready to launch our product next year. After finalizing our current prototype, we will focus on capabilities for crop spraying and on-field data acquisition to further expand our solution fit for potential customers. Due to our expertise in agriculture and robotics, we make farming more profitable and scalable. We are Safran Matters, and our vision is a world where only fair and sustainable agricultural products exist.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Jury, it's not your turn now. Can do.
We can't hear anything.
Yes, this is Heiko. I have one question. I remember in the midterm, you were also talking about the impact on saffron workers, saffron farmers in developing markets. So how do you see your product being actually more of a problem for them, basically taking away their jobs by making it more attractive to farm saffron here?
So if you think about it in a naive way, you could actually argue that yes, we are taking away an Arbeitsplatz. So, oh my God.
But actually, we are just changing the system. We give alternatives to the saffron produced in Iran. In that way, the market will shift towards Europe and other countries, and Iran has to adapt. We can't just, if you produce clothes in a sustainable way, you don't take away jobs from people that produce them under slave-like working conditions, because those aren't even jobs. We provide an alternative so the market can change the system and help these people get actual jobs.
So I like that you, go ahead, Albert.
Yeah, but if I understood it right, it would cost less money if you harvest the saffron with your robot. So wouldn't it be an easy way to contact farmers in Iran and then try to sell your product there, so that you would not only make a benefit but also really help? I think this idea of your company helping to erase kids' slave labor was an idea that really stuck in our minds. So I think we're all a bit deceived that you're contacting farmers in Germany.
Well, the problem is the people in Iran, this more or less slaves, get very less pay. So a robot, like our robot, is at the moment too expensive. So the farmers there would say, why should I buy Oscar? Because it's very cheap to let the children and the women work for me. It's cheaper than the Oscar.
For comparison, in buying saffron from Germany, you pay about 40 euros per gram. But if you buy it from Iran, you pay 4 to 8 euros. So our plan is not to directly compete with that, but just offer an alternative and show Iran that people are willing to pay more for a sustainable and fair saffron.
Okay. I understand the current price for saffron from Germany is 40 euros. How much would it be then when Oscar is used?
Oscar is about reducing at the moment only the picking from the flowers. So we are able to reduce the price about 20%. And with more features of Oscar, we're able to reduce it to 30% of the cost.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
What is special about the saffron harvesting compared to the harvesting of other crops? Like, is the possibility to just use some other harvesting robot in this use case, or is it really specific?
No, there's nothing like this. Normally, you have one day where you could harvest your fields, but special on saffron is you have like 14 to 20 days in October where you have to go every day over the fields and pick the flowers. So it's very special and manual labor.
Well, thank you very much.
Can I have more question? I think we have like 30 seconds. Which do you think are the most important partners to make your business a success?
Well, at the moment, we are in contact with government foundations, so we maybe get some help over the government. And also, we're thinking about and are in contact with saffron farmers to exchange with them and use their experience to make Oscar
Now,
better.
I fortunately have to cut it. Due to technical reasons and timing issues, obviously, such an impactful project. Thank you guys so much, Safran Matters, and of course Oscar, for being here. Next team is?
Rainy, you're up. Rainy, could you unmute yourself, please, and start presenting? Is Rainy there? Is it visible?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. I haven't heard anything from Rainy yet, so that would be great too.
Could you please unmute yourself?
I am unmuted.
You're really quiet. We can barely hear you, Konstantin.
Okay, Rainy, so you could turn up your volume or maybe get closer to the microphone.
Well,
okay, Rainy, could you give us any sign?
Konstantin, hi.
We're seeing you.
But unfortunately, we cannot hear you properly.
Hear me now.
Okay, maybe we will give you some time to clear the issues. Maybe you could test that with the Zoom team that is back. And we'll get to the next startup, social ads. Would you like just to take the place and we'll come back to Rainy afterwards?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes,
we can.
Hello.
Hi, Sven.
Hi. So just share my screen.
Perfect.
We see your screen too.
Okay, perfect.
You can go.
Kids in poverty can't afford to go to school and have to live off 77 cents per day. During COVID, the need for humanitarian aid has arisen for people that live in poverty. A daily budget of $1.08 in average are needed for him to not suffer hunger. On the contrary, this is Sundar Pichai. He's the CEO of Google. All of you know Google. But what you might not know is that their revenue was about $181 billion last year.
You may now ask yourself, how does Google earn that much money? Well, with you. You watch ads on websites that come from Google, and Google receives a commission from the advertisers. This network is called Google Ads. When we thought about this process, we came up with an idea. What if we replace Google Ads with our own ad network, social ads? The replacement takes place by our own browser extension.
Our vision is to be the Robin Hood for ads and take a portion of Google's money and donate it to charity organizations. A quick summary: social ads replaces displeasing online ads by socially relevant incentives and donates its earnings to charity organizations. And now we would love to show you our prototype and how it replaces ads.
Imagine browsing the web. Well, you have to make sure that social ads are activated. Because when activated, you will see that ads are replaced with our own ads. Here we have replaced the ads with the interesting startup Safran Matters. The earnings will be then donated to different organizations. We have tried keeping it short and showing you some of the main steps from the last weeks. We started with an idea, developed prototypes, and have our first meetings with charity organizations next week already. We talked to lawyers, to a co-founder of an ad blocking service, and reached out to potential marketers. At the end, we want to thank Grow for the network and the help provided. It was the motivation for us making our idea reality. Thank you again, guys. We are now happy to answer your questions.
Thank you for the pitch. Very interesting. How is this legal?
Yeah, so it's as we said, we have talked to lawyers, and some of them said it's not that quite legal because ad blocking services also have some issues with legal departments of other websites. However, the charity organizations or our donation part is the thing that makes it legal. So if we donate everything or most of it, so we are not really having any profits, but we're still at break even, so we can pay ourselves and our employees, then it's as we say in German, almost Graubereich, but it's then it's not really illegal. Yes, but it's legal.
But I have the same question, do you have a legal statement like by a lawyer, or is it only what you think about it, that it's a Graubereich?
Yeah, so we have talked to I think 2 or 3, but we are looking forward to really get one in our team. So we have to work or engage more with him then and figure out which action or which specific action is not we should avoid and which action we should implement. But at first we thought it is crucial for us to see that the product will be accepted by the market. So we have made a prototype and had some beta testers. So yeah, because the lawyers who we talked to, they said that it might be legal in the way that we make it.
One question from a technical perspective. So probably you are kind of manipulating the JavaScript of the website and replace the ad that should be shown with your let's say impact ads or social ads. So if I were a platform or a website, and my biggest incentive would be to block basically any type of manipulation or actually sue you, because you are kind of taking away their ad revenue, because, well, their ads are not shown if you are manipulating them. So how do you think about that dynamic as well?
Yes,
sure.
Or Sven, yeah, go on.
Yeah, a bit in the past, I think you might have heard of the case with the Axel Springer Verlag and all these ad block developers. So yeah, there were some legal cases because the Axel Springer Verlag tried to block all those ad block developers. So, and yeah, it's legal for a company to block these ads, but yeah, then this company, like the Axel Springer Verlag, might block also social ads.
The time is a little late, so you only have 1 minute left, but there's still time for questions.
I have one question regarding the incentive for social ads to work with you. Why would they not just post their social ads via the Google Ad standard network? If at the end of the day you're basically taking out the original ad and show theirs, what's their incentive?
Yes, I can answer that. It's basically the point that some companies, especially companies with good causes, have less marketing budget than other companies that show more aggressive ads. And so we want to only show ads from companies that have a good cause. And because their budget is much lower, we can really target those companies, and they will have to pay less, but will be shown on higher ranking sites.
Okay,
as well.
Thank you very much. The time's over, even if the timer still shows a minute. But we continue with our next startup.
We have good news.
Yes.
Rainy apparently
yes,
is ready to go.
it should work now.
Yes,
Hi.
perfect.
Perfect.
Loud and clearly.
Sorry guys,
Amazing.
thank you.
All good.
So, hi everyone, we are Rainy. We help you stay hydrated, and with every liter you drink, you support drinking water projects worldwide. Dehydration and the global water crisis, both water-related problems, both problems we must tackle. However, we often simply forget to drink, and the problem with donations is that many people are not attracted by traditional charity anymore. So how can we avoid dehydration and fund drinking water projects at the same time? With Rainy, we develop a smart water bottle and connect it to our own impact app, where private users, NGOs, and companies can create an impact together. Track, donate, and earn rewards. The combination of our smart bottle, hydration tracking, and microdonations offers a completely new drinking and charity experience. And all you have to do is drink. With our app or our smart bottle, track how much you drink, and we help you reach your daily goal. With every liter, you automatically donate 1 cent to one of our drinking water projects. You can also donate yourself if you wish to give more. With Rainy, we offer rewards for impact. So donate and treat yourself with offers from our partners. Rainy is a platform model. Our impact comes through donations by our sponsors as well as private donations. Most importantly though, we don't touch the donations. We earn money by monetizing our platform through the sale of our smart bottle and commissions from the reward program. Our app is with almost all features is free. So start with the app and then upgrade to automated tracking with our smart bottle. Our corporate sponsors donate to our project, which allows you to collect 1 cent per liter you drink for free. In our reward program, brands can get access to our community and only pay a commission for leads or conversions. The market for smart bottles is expected to grow rapidly. Due to little competition and the increasing buying power of our target group, we can quickly claim a good market position. To get the best Rainy experience, you should definitely buy our smart bottle, but you can also use Rainy without it. Start by downloading the app, use hydration tracking, donate with every liter, and earn rewards from our partners. Since the midterm, we pivoted Rainy to a model that allows us to grow a lot easier while maximizing benefits for all parties. We are very happy to present both our new app as well as our first bottle samples. Also, we are very excited to welcome our first sponsor, Aramido, and our first 2 brands, Ohani and Feel Food. Soon, we will start into an open beta phase. We are Andre, Simon, and Konstantin. Andre is responsible for product design and hardware. As a software developer, Simon takes care of all the digital aspects, and I'm in charge of the business. The combination of purpose and complementary competencies will help us achieve our goals. With Rainy, our vision is to rethink charity, and we want to build the biggest impact community for a safer water future. So join Rainy now and download our test app. Create change, sip by sip, with Rainy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Rainy. Now we are ready for the questions from the jury.
Thanks very much. So my question goes into sustainability of the hardware you use. So everyone is talking about sustainability. You have a big focus on water projects, but you need a lot of energy and technology to go into the actual bottle. So have you considered the impact that causes?
Yes, of course. That's a very good question. And sustainability is implemented in two factors. First, we want to use the material that has the longest longevity. So we built our prototype and our bottles are stainless steel. Plus, we put all our technology in the lid. So everything that uses the hydration tracking is implemented in the lid. So if the technology fails, which is the most likely thing to crash at some point, you can simply return the lid, we can repair it or recycle it and offer you a new one without having to destroy the whole bottle, which all competitors in that game unfortunately have to do.
Is your bottle dishwasher safe, or what about cleaning the lid?
Yes, so the bottle itself is dishwasher safe. That's not a problem at all. The lid can most likely go into the dishwasher itself. That's something we still have to test. But a little advice, if you want to clean your bottle and your lid, don't put it in the dishwasher because dishwashers are not designed to clean such small surfaces. And especially lids, just take a damp rug and clean it with that. That's the better way in any case.
I have a question generally regarding the smart bottle market. Why is it growing and what do smart bottles actually do? I mean, with you, it's sort of the first time that I heard about it. And the second question would be revolving around the reward program. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So the smart bottle market is growing especially because of health benefits and more consciousness about the need to drink enough. That is driven on the one side due to the LOHAS movement, so people that actually care about their well-being and sustainability, but also the fitness movement, fitness trackers, smartwatches, step calculators, all that is are drivers of the global smart water bottle market. And the reward program, so what we wanted to do is the incentive to get involved is, for many people, it's intrinsic, but we want to give others a little extrinsic motivation to join something where you can create an impact that is integrated into your daily life. So you get the chance to help other people and still get access to very nice, sustainable new brands that offer products for you that you can trade in for your impact, that you actually donated, of course.
Can you tell us something more about your marketing plan and how do the customers get to know about your product and what are your plans about that?
Yes, sure. Let me quickly switch to this slide. So what our marketing plan is two things that we have to consider there. We have the app on the one side and the smart bottle on the other. The app works perfectly on its own. The smart bottle is the upgrade to the app. And what we can do is by launching the app before the actual smart bottle launches, we can efficiently test the market pretty inexpensively, see what the reaction is, and then target our standing audience plus others when we actually launch the bottle. Our bottle and our app are perfect for social media marketing, as that's the place where our target audience is the most active, but also PR and a lot of tech and impact forums are actually very attractive for us to launch our product.
So maybe I've missed it, but if I, as a consumer, drink from the bottle, someone pays.
Yes, so we
Why?
have...
What's the incentive? Why should someone spend money because I am drinking?
So what we did is our model allows us that all our partners can donate through Rainy and still get it back from their tax report. The incentive for corporate sponsors to donate is, on the one hand, they get employee engagement and impact branding. So they get branding from us for getting involved themselves, and they can use the Rainy experience for their company as well. Because the biggest problem is over 50% of people don't drink enough at work. So it is in the benefit of companies to help their employees to actually drink enough during the day to be able to maintain their level of efficiency.
Thank you very much. Great slides. Thank you for the questions. Another teaser, because we only have 2 startups to go, so we're getting really close to the discussion with our speakers and afterwards to the award ceremony. But don't forget, you have the next two startups are going to be in the competition also. So, but afterwards we will close the possibility to win the SUSHI Bike by the company, the e-bike by the company SUSHI Bike. So please, if you want to take part, do it now or after the 2 startups right afterwards, because then it will be closed. Perfect. And now let's continue with which startup?
Smart Eden.
Yes.
From one sustainable idea to the other.
Perfect. It's pretty great actually. Smart Eden, can you hear us? Could you unmute yourself?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
We can.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Can you see our screen?
Unfortunately, not so far.
We can't.
All right. Give us a sec.
Now.
Now?
Yes, now we can. Perfect.
Perfect.
You can start.
Okay. All right. Hi, we are Smart Eden, and with our sustainable gardening solutions, we want to empower people to grow their own greens and fruits despite limited time and plant knowledge. Home gardening becomes increasingly popular, but how good are you treating your plants? Do they look like this or rather like this? Chances are high that you are one of the 74% who are rather dissatisfied with the cultivation. So why is that? Sure, we all know that our plants are often thirsty due to our laziness.
Smart Eden, I'm really sorry, but we can't see you actually. We can see your slides, but we can't see yourself.
Okay. Can we just stop here?
Yeah, we can. We won't lose time, no worries. Just it would be much nicer to see one of the faces.
Maybe.
We're not
Can you see us now?
Doesn't work now. It does?
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, sorry
Very
for
nice.
that little interruption.
Okay, now both is working. You can continue now.
All right. So why is that? Sure, we all know that our plants are often thirsty due to our laziness, vacations, or overall busyness. But besides water, each plant has individual growth conditions regarding soil properties. Most people can't master the complexities involved in a biodiverse garden. That's why we invented a solution which provides optimal growing conditions for all kinds of plants and even mushrooms. Sounds promising, but how does it work? Well, firstly, our system consists of a smart raised bed, which is equipped with solar panels and a large water and fertilizer tanks to work completely independent and self-sufficient. On top, it is divided into so-called plant zones, where plants are treated individually and monitored by a wireless sensor. All this data is transferred to your app, where a digital twin of your raised bed is created. As a result, you'll be able to monitor the growth of your plants and get inspirations and suggestions on what to plant next. Your favorite seeds can then be ordered in our online shop.
Today's solutions for plant cultivation are mostly for indoor use and only support small plants. Outdoor devices aren't smart right now. Only farmboard use a different approach, but it's highly complex and mostly used by tech-savvy people. There's no self-sufficient smart gardening device for plant cultivation in the market right now.
We are going to use the reverse razor and blade business model. This means that we sell our smart raised bed to a premium price while offering add-ons and consumables such as seeds and fertilizer at a convenient price. Our Smart Eden app and online shop will be offered for free to attract new potential customers. On top, premium accounts offer additional services. Currently, we plan with a profit margin of about 315 euros per raised bed and 135 for the add-on greenhouse. The premium membership will provide a rather small contribution to this.
Since the start of Grow, we not only developed and tested various prototypes, we also found more than 50 prospective buyers and business partners. We even filed a patent application. After Grow, we intend to do an MVP test in spring and a crowdfunding campaign in late summer. A scalable production will start next winter. In our team, we have all the expertise we needed to shape the modern way of home gardening. We cover the fields of management, electronics, IT, and botanics, which are crucial for our business.
Smart Eden is not just a brand, it's a vision to empower people to become less dependent on industrial food production. We want people to succeed in home gardening and believe that the combination of technical and natural processes will lead to a sustainable and healthy future. And by the way, which idea fits better to grow than growing plants? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice. So, the jury, it's your turn.
Yeah, I have a question. So is the motivation that you found out from the people you talked to more the Tamagotchi effect, to have the app and the real plant and to play with it? Or is it the food production aspect? What are people after?
Yes, as you guessed right, we want to go into this gamification aspect a lot. We are not, the main focus is not on people who want to be completely self-sufficient with food production. It's more like an add-on to existing sources like supermarket, etc. But it's an addition.
If I understood it correctly, one of these, what's the name of beet in English? I'm sorry.
Raised bed.
Thank you. They're 850 euros?
Yes, we have to say on that, normal raised beds with quality like we use, they are currently sold for more than $1,000. It's because the wood is very expensive right now. More than half of the price is actually wood costs.
Okay, and so what is your target customer, and do they use it 1 year, or can you rent it for 1 year, or do you buy it for your life?
No, actually you buy it for your life, and the way we constructed it it's actually good for a lifetime. We also consider to give 5 years guarantee for the basic construction, but we also consider to product these raised beds and rent them out for example, business ventures or something like that.
Have you thought about making it a purely subscription-based model? Because I think having this high entry price just for the hardware is kind of limiting your customer segments. And if you kind of say, okay, I don't need a profit margin on the first initial buy, you can really lower the hurdles for customers to interact with your brand, and you can make some money throughout the lifetime with supplements, and like a subscription fee and stuff like this. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yes, that would be also an option. We should also consider, but it's also important to know that once you install the raised bed, it's not totally fixed, but it's actually a big hurdle for people to build it down again and stuff like this. So I think people will be more attracted to a high quality standard raised bed they can own a lifetime instead of giving it away a few years later.
I haven't done the math, but to me it seems like the price tag per tomato raised in your bed is excessively high. So how intensively have you talked to potential customers whether they are willing to pay this?
Good question. We actually talked a lot to people, and the fact is it's not a mathematical approach they do. It's more like an emotional thing. A lot of people want to invest in their hobby, and this is gardening, and they want to become better, and they want to share their harvests with others, and they are proud of it. So it's more like the emotional aspect of it. It's less the financial one. And we have a list of more than 60 interested people now, and we also have LOIs to a company who offers these raised beds to companies. So we not only sell B2B, but also B2B2C.
So did I get it right? I have to position it outside. So that means I need a house with a garden to buy it. Or I can put it on my balcony if I have one. Is that right?
Exactly. It's completely independent. So you can also put it anywhere. It doesn't need to be close to your house, as you don't need a water hose and you don't need an electricity connection nearby. You can put it anywhere.
Yeah, but it needs to be outside so that it gets enough solar power on the cells, right?
Depending on your lighting in your room, yes.
Okay.
Okay, there are only some seconds left. If there is no other question, we'll continue with the next one.
Well, it's unfortunately the last one of tonight, so the tension is getting very, very high. So keep your attention. Girls, are you there? Doing your job. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Loud and clearly.
We can see you too. Just share your screen and you're ready to roll.
At the moment, we cannot share the screen because Smart Eden is...
Yes, so Smart Eden, could you just leave the screen to do your job? That would be really nice.
Thank you.
Perfect. So it should work now? Yes. Getting ready. Oh, it's Saturday, the last ones.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're ready to go.
Great, thank you. 1 second. Sorry.
No worries.
I can start now. So, this is Mia. She's searching for a part-time job to finance a trip with friends. Google, newspaper, and asking around. It leads to nothing. Her trip cancelled. 4 months earlier, her school internship was due. She always wanted to become a nurse, but because she didn't dare to call the nursing home, she joined her mother in the office.
Frustrating for Mia, but even worse is that career orientation is not working. Mia has no work experience, is unsure after graduating, and starts studying out of disorientation, leading to the problem of over-academization. When we started Grow, we only knew this side of the problem, our side, and over the time we gained insight on the company side and realized that the need there is giant. Companies are struggling to attract young talents due to undervalued employer branding measures. Also, there's a clear upward trend in mini-jobs, 7 million in Germany to be precise. Due to their flexibility at peak times, teenagers are a perfect fit for these, not to mention their knowledge in the production of digital content.
With our platform Junior Job, we offer companies the opportunity to recruit positions from a pool of teenagers, saving valuable time and money. The Junior Job application is accessible for all operating systems, and we clearly stand out from other job platforms thanks to a special matching algorithm and an in-app chat, the favorite way for Gen Z to communicate.
Compared to other job portals, we are the only player in the GSA market, which is specially targeted towards young talents and accessible via app. Therefore, we currently are the only ones in a certain market segment, even though we still need to maintain the #1 app for young talents.
Our target groups can be divided into students aged from 15 to 20, of whom there are almost 6 million in Germany and 3 million companies of various scales. The young talent recruiting market equals around 200 million euro. To saturate this market, we already gained a presence of 10,000 followers on TikTok and built a community of students. Additionally, we launched partnerships with schools in recent weeks.
Of course, the app is free of charge for students. Companies pay 70 euros for a 30-day placement in our app. On top, job highlights and the placement of education-oriented advertising content are bookable. Currently, we count around 50 customers, which adds up to around 800 euro revenue since we ended the free trial 3 weeks ago. For this year, we are planning a turnover of 200,000 euros. By 2025, we expect more than 4 million euros.
Besides us, we also count our 2 programmers to the team. In addition, we have hired our first 2 employees for sales. As a young team, we natively know the needs of Gen Z, and we have noticed that our growth has led to Junior Job becoming the #1 priority in our lives.
Since the midterm, we have moved into our office, trained 2 employees, strengthened our sales department, and announced the app.
We gained 1,000 downloads and made first revenues. In addition, we are intensively talking to investors.
Thank you very much for your attention. We are looking forward to your questions.
Oh, and for your information, there's also one of our programmers here to answer technical questions.
Perfect. Right on time, and thank you for showing your team.
Just happened.
Jury, if you're ready to go.
Maybe I can have a go. Thank you for your presentation. You showed on your competitor slide, there's another one, Schüler Jobs, something like that. And you also showed that it's not active anymore, or not active at all. Do you have any idea why it's not active and what led to the inactiveness of this company?
Yes, we looked it up on North Data and such pages, and there we've seen that there's one person who's having, I think, 10 or 20 companies at the same time, and I think he just started to focus on männergeschenke.de instead of Schülerjobs. And also, it's just like they don't doing their Jahresabschluss anymore, and that's why we concluded that there are no jobs anymore. And I think also that's a very problematic task for someone who's older than us, because we are from the target group itself and we know how to reach students. And I think he had problems because, for example, he has a website instead of an app like we have, and an application is important for students because they are just using apps instead of websites.
I have a question about the larger social networks that are also very heavily going into recruiting. How do you see that evolving in the future? And where's your special USP, why you're not afraid of Xing and LinkedIn and all the others?
So there are always students looking for a job, and we are not afraid of other job portals trying to get those students too, because we have an USP. We are young students that understand the problem of the other students and that can adapt the app perfectly to them. So our team is our USP, and we plan to keep that insight into hiring students into our group.
And also LinkedIn is probably more for students, for example, university students, of course, and students are not into that social network in terms of a job because they're in school, they want to go to school and maybe have this job next to it, but it isn't such a big thing like for university students. And I think it's just not important for students to have LinkedIn, for example, because it's very much work they have to do with everything they have to fill out in LinkedIn and not that much things they wish from it.
Can you tell us something about the new customers, business customers like Edeka? How did you get the new customers? Did you call them or?
Yes, so there's classically cold calling, of course. This is my beginning into the sales. Then, of course, we also developed some strategies like through LinkedIn. So we get to know the person who is in the exact position who can decide whether they can work with us or not. So we find them through LinkedIn or also through HR events where the people from the recruiting teams are also there. So in addition to that, I could say that we have over 100 clients in our CRM system, and these new clients that you can see here.
When I'm looking at the references here, I mean, let's take the Ibis hotels, for example. I guess this is from a specific Ibis hotel, so one single one you have approached and talked with, and not the entire Ibis group, right?
At the moment, it's like, I don't know if you know it, but it's the Hoga, and they are knowing almost all the hotels in Germany, and over them we get the contacts to the different groups. And for example, Ibis, they are starting a pilot project in Cologne, but after that, they obviously can tell it to other persons from Ibis, and that's basically the situation for us. We're starting with all businesses, and then we want them to
I was wondering if you call the this hotel and tell them, and they say, yeah, that's great, we want to use it, but we have to ask our headquarters, and then it takes ages until there's a commitment. But
yes, exactly, that's the biggest problem. But it takes time, and then it's okay.
Can I add another question? I mean, regarding the team is always very important, of course. And may I ask a personal question? Have you finished school yet, or how old are you? Are you studying? Are you now working 100% on junior job? Where are you at the moment?
So our team is very young. So also the programmers are very young. We are 19 years old, and we finished school last year, and now we're focusing like 100% on junior job.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So,
okay. Thank you, Team Junior Job. Thanks on all the teams who have pitched tonight and who have taken part also in the Grow journey during this interesting 11 weeks that we have spent. But this journey is coming to an end for this year, sadly, tonight. But for our watchers out there, there's a small reminder for you. You can still do editing on your guess for the e-bike, SUSHI Bike challenge from pioniergarage.de/win. You have to guess the top 4 teams of the night. Then you will see a timer on the screen. It's going to be 5 minutes long, and after that, unfortunately, you cannot make any changes. So give it a go, give it a last push, guess the top 4, and then we will see at the end of the night who's getting the SUSHI Bike.
Very nice. Yes, and now the jury has to leave us. They are now going to go in a separate room, breakout room, and assess who is going to win. So there will be a lot of suspense in the background, but don't worry, we'll have a lot of suspense here also on the screen, because now I'm very happy to announce and to invite Thomas von der Ohe and Andy Weinziel to join us for the talk. Thank you for joining in. Maybe quick, perfect.
Hi guys.
I can see you both. Perfect. Amazing to have you here, both of you. We've talked already, very fascinating people. So I'll just give the word to you. Please present yourselves in just 3 minutes. And I would like you to answer also the same question that the jury members answered. So please tell us which book you would take on a deserted island with you if you only had the chance to take one book with you. So Thomas, would you like to start?
Sure. First of all, I'm super excited to speak here today. I'm not sure. About 10 years ago, I was at the PionierGarage and decided actually to found a company, which I'm just excited to be here today and have the opportunity to speak to all of you. So I'm Thomas, I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Vey. What we're doing is a different approach to autonomous driving that actually launches this year here on European streets. And we achieve this by a different approach to autonomous driving, which we're very excited about, which we call teledriving first, where we've developed now technology over the last 3 years to remotely drive a vehicle. So we have a teledriver that can drive a vehicle from afar, and that actually allows us to launch something this year, not many years out, where various projections are for autonomous driving. So this year, actually here in Hamburg, you can click a button and a vehicle comes to you teledriven that you then drive yourself as a customer. You drive to the office or to the airport, and then you just get out because another teledriver comes back and parks it for you. So you just, as a customer, you click a button, a vehicle comes to you, and you don't have to park it. That's what we're launching this year. Just maybe 2-3 words on my background. I started at the PionierGarage 10 years ago at the KIT, and then decided to found my first company. Learned a lot, then went to the States, did my master's in Stanford in computer science and product, and spent 6 years over there. Launched something that you might know, which is the Amazon Echo. Then joined another startup in the autonomous driving space, and now about 3.5 years ago decided to come back to Europe because I'm very passionate about that, to start Vey here, headquartered in Berlin, and with offices in Hamburg and back also in the US already. And we're super excited about this year and the next years. With our latest fundraising round, we raised 95 million. I want to now double and triple our team from now 100 to 200 to 300. Are looking for great folks to join our ride. I'm just super excited about this year, but also to be here with everyone today to hear what great presentations I've heard over the last hours. So thanks everyone for that. To your question, the book that I would probably take Radical Candor, which is a great book on company kind of culture, but also how to give feedback and to be very open, how to address feedback in work environments. Highly recommended if you haven't read it.
Well, great.
Thank you very much. It's also always very inspiring to hear success stories from PionierGarage members. It always motivates us extremely. So thank you for that. But now we switch to Munich, to Andy Weinziel, who has also pulled up an amazing startup. Please, Andy.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me in the first place. And congratulations to all the startups out there for making it to the finals. So good job. I really enjoyed listening. Yeah, it's great to be here. Unfortunately, I don't have a PionierGarage background. So I was born and raised in Munich, did my apprenticeship at BMW as a mechanic, and then I somehow managed to get into studies for industrial engineering with logistics as a main focus. And in between my bachelor's and master's, I tried an e-bike for the first time, and that was the bike of my dad. And most of the time, he's a very cool person, and yeah, I really appreciate how he styles. But on that day, he showed up with his e-bike for the first time, and said to me, "Hey, you have to try that." And I was like, "Oh, that's not really cool." And it's also very expensive. But the main feeling when I sat on the bike, that was fantastic, and it was really a solution for my mobility problem within cities, actually. So commuting to the job was kind of stressful in the morning. So that was the solution. And then I went ahead, did my master's in London. And on the other side, I met some business angels, which you might know from our website and from TV shows or something. Yeah, and that's how we started SUSHI Bike. So the main USP is it's going to be affordable for students and for job beginners. And on the other hand, it has to look good, and you don't want to be embarrassed to ride an e-bike anymore. That's the main pitch. And now we're 29 people based in Munich, working hard to get this done and recover streets from cars again. And the book, I would go with a very classical one, like Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You might all have read it, but yeah, it's always a good read.
Well, thank you so much. Of course, our viewers out there definitely have some questions to inspiring founders like you guys. So that's why we started Slido. You just have to scan the QR code, #GrowFinal, and then we will present your question live to these two inspiring founders. But we also have interesting questions. Obviously, as the PionierGarage team, maybe, Aurel, you can ask one of them.
We'll start right away. Just before to structure it a little bit. So first off, we're gonna go into the topic of urban mobility in the future, because both Andy and Thomas, having different approach of attacking this problem. Afterwards, we're going to see how their startups, focused on this problem, and then we're going to see how Andy and Thomas made it so far with their startups. So first off, ask your questions to the topic urban mobility, and afterwards we'll have enough time to get some tips and some great advice probably.
Definitely.
Yeah, from both founders. What is the most the worst thing you can do founding, or even the best thing? So let's start with a question that's maybe just hanging a bit there, but just to start. If you could hang a billboard everywhere around the world, and you could write something on it, what would you write on it? Maybe Andy, you start this time.
That's a tricky question. I've heard it once in a podcast, and I never actually thought about what I would do in that case. But probably something that just popped into my mind was do something good today. I think that summarizes everything. So try to do something good every day. Probably somewhere in the middle of Munich.
Beautiful place. Okay, Thomas, your turn.
Yeah, good question. I'm wondering. I think Andy, it's a good billboard sentence. Another thing is that that's related to I guess maybe more on urban mobility, but I would maybe put something like when will you get rid of your personal car or something like this? Because I think it's very important that people, start thinking about how to actually, potentially get rid of their privately owned car. Just because I think it's a big challenge, and I think people should start reflecting how and what it would take to get rid of the personal car. Which is something that came to my mind a bit more related to the topic that I think we're discussing here today.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's a very brief question to start. Now let's get into the topic. So what are your visions for, let's say, the urban mobility in 5 or even 10 years? Maybe Thomas, you can start again.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, like what if you look at the urban transportation systems today, right, there's just so many problems that you see, right? And I actually believe it's one of the biggest challenges that we should address as a society when it comes to safety, right? Like every 24 seconds, 24 seconds, someone dies somewhere because of like transportation, right? That's insane. And obviously the big other big societal challenge is sustainability, right? How can you get more to electric, but also highly utilized vehicles or means of transportation? So I think this is just super important that we address these items in urban transportation. The question is, how do we get there, right? And I believe something that's very underrated in kind of thought discussions when we talk about visions on 10 years out, right? Like I'm not talking about something in the next 3 or 4 years, but really how can you move masses from A to B without, maybe without the current streets that we have today, right? Or the current traffic jams and the streets that we have today, just because they're clogged up with, all these like four wheels vehicles that are, there's 1.2 person in the car and, they're privately owned. So for me, a vision, it's really how can we maybe rethink transportation systems, public transportation systems. Maybe it's a combination of public and private, where you get into a vehicle on one side of the street, on one side of the city. It gets to you, you get in the back, and then with 100, 120 kilometers per hour, you get on the opposite side of the city or wherever you want to go, right? And ideally on streets that are not there where our streets are today, because they should be repurposed for society rather than for the vehicles, but maybe on streets more like where our current trains or our current undergrounds, which are more to the side. So I'd love to live in a city where I can just click a button and I get from A to B extremely fast, highly convenient, and sustainable and safe. So there's a long way and different ways how to get there. That's how I'd see the vision in metropolitan areas in the next 10 years.
Well, we are going to approach this problem with Andy's vision. How can SUSHI Bikes change the urban mobility in the next 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, I listen carefully, and I do totally agree with Thomas. Although we have like completely different approaches, and I already mentioned that we want to get rid of cars within the inner city, and that's what I actually mean, because like I think 2/3 of people worldwide are gonna live in cities in 2050, I think. So that's quite a time horizon. We still have plenty of time to get there, but we have to prepare. There's not enough space in cities for private cars, and that's where I agree with Thomas. So we have to get rid of private cars first, and look into sharing, look into the whole transportation system. And another thing he already mentioned is convenience. And I think that's the main thing we have to care about. And that's also one of the main reasons why we're believing so much in electric bicycles. It convinces you in the morning to take the bike rather than traveling by public transport or car, because it just gives you a little push, and that helps you to be a bit more convenient in the morning. And now we have to look into different weather conditions, for example. So obviously we still cannot state that our bikes are replacing cars. That would be too much of a pitch here. But we're getting there. We are seeing cargo bikes out there. But still, on the weather today, it was snowing in Munich. It's not very convenient to travel by bike. And as soon as we solve those problems, and that's when I'm talking about vision, looking at the broad perspective of how we can commute within cities, that's going to be very interesting. And we're working on all sorts of products that might solve that issue. And it's so exciting to hear that there are so many different approaches, like Way, for example. Quite excited to hear more about that.
It's super important, right, that we first think a bit about that we do an alternative to the privately car ownership, right? Because if it's your own bike, that's fantastic, right? If there's other right or bikes on demand or other vehicles on demand, it just puts you into perspective that if it rains, you take in a different medium if it doesn't rain, right? And I think that's when the question was about like vision. I think this is where we want to go, and I think an immediate step is to really focus what are alternative models or modes that can give another option to people living in cities to not have their own car. And I think like electric bikes are a big part to that, and there's many other great developments to help push that forward.
Okay, yes, perfect. What I found interesting is that you both have a very individual approach on transportation. Do you think that public transportation, because in the topic, if you discuss future mobility, is always, we have to expand the public transportation system. Do you think you can compete with that, or do you think there isn't, it both can go hand in hand? And maybe who wants to, Andy, maybe this time?
I do agree that we always need to expand public transportation. I think that's like the base of everything within cities. But we're doing a good job in most of the metropolitan areas in Germany, I think. So I feel quite comfortable using them. Anyways, what we try to do is to also lower the price of the e-bike to be a good alternative to public transport, because public transport is somehow the entry class if you don't have a car, obviously, but having a great bike is somewhat expensive sometimes. So that's our approach here, to show some kind of an alternative to public transport. But I do see some room for improvement here in Munich as well. So let's see what happens. But I'm always on the optimistic side, and I do see some great initiatives in cities. So we can get it done.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, right? Like I think if you look into like innovation in the sector, right? I think there hasn't been really like big innovations in the public and kind of in the public transportation system. So I really hope that over the next couple of years, right, when we think about, maybe smart city solutions or really like step changes in public transportation, and maybe this is even not just public, because public is then always, I felt like also from VCs and others, like, oh, you don't want to go into, but maybe there's much more private-public interactions, right? Like how can you maybe integrate, or how can you, maybe build together technology that, really rethinks public transportation, right? Because one of the big problems with public transportation, I believe, is, you have these big, buses, for example, right, where you go on schedule, and that's just not super convenient. If you want to go on demand from A to B, right, for example. And so I really hope that over the next couple of years, we see much more collaboration, maybe with private companies and public kind of companies going together and thinking about new products. So that's just something that I think is very exciting, and hopefully we'll see that going forward. And in general, I think public transportation is super crucial right now for all this, for how we move in cities. And you can see already that there's much more integration between different means to maybe you take an e-bike to a train station, and they get much more integrated. And I think that's a very good development, and I also hope to see more collaboration there, and then hopefully in the mid future much more innovation in the sector, because there just hasn't been really transformative changes when it comes to vehicle types and things like that for public transportation.
Well, thank you very much for all of the insights. But last couple of questions regarding reshaping urban mobility before we go on entrepreneurship habits and more, let's say, interesting or more related topics to the founders of tomorrow that we have seen tonight. But my question will be, of course, you will need very good roads for Way and good bike lanes for SUSHI bikes. What prevails, or how can we make them work together somehow?
Maybe Thomas this time?
I think the basic, the first question that comes to mind is, why do we need to pose the question of make them work together? I think there's different like, if you want to go from A to B, right, you should, in my opinion, always think about what's the best way to get from A to B, right? And that should be kind of a decision, ideally at the time when it's happening, because there might be other influencing factors like weather and if we're under time constraints is a big one, for example, right? And obviously the distance, right? And I really think there's just different means depending on these outer factors that allows you then to go from A to B. And sometimes, like our initial product is the one that I mentioned, basically an electric vehicle at a click of a button at your doorstep, basically. But getting to this decision how to get from A to B at the point, and whether you take a bike or public transportation or something else, I think that's the most important part. So I really don't see this as a kind of a competing idea or anything like that. I don't know, Andy, what you think.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. And what I would like to add is that from my perspective, infrastructure can be an enabler for like new transport modes. So if you look at, again, I have to stick with our example for bicycles. If we build great bike lanes, it's more likely that people use the bike. So if you ask people in Berlin, and I did that most of the time when I'm there, and I always get the answer that it's not safe enough to commute by bike, for example. And that's something we need to solve immediately if we want to have a change within cities. So infrastructure as the base enabler for new technologies or even old technologies, and to make them to get the usage up. Yeah. And yeah, the rest I agree with Thomas.
Okay. Yes, but what I wanted to get back at, because Annie, you said before, yes, we obviously both want to get rid of the cities of streets in the cities, and Thomas, you said we want to give the space that infrastructure take back to the society. So does it, now directly to you, Thomas, does Way have a long-term future if you say you want to give it back? Just the space back to the society, or get rid of cities in of streets in the cities?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not sure how much into details we want to go into different systems, right? But if one big challenge that we see in today's cities is that there's a lot of traffic jams, right? And there's a system that is mainly like city infrastructure built around cars. But if you look at rails or other parts, right, like public transportation, they're actually already not part of this kind of part of the street. So where I'd eventually want to go is to reduce significantly the number of streets used for the means that we'll use in the future to get from A to B, and whether this is then on streets or maybe more on rails, right, or on the infrastructure that is being used right now for rails, and that's TBD. So yeah, I'd love. I mean, I think going forward, it's really about how can we get like the reduction of parked cars, right? 95% are just being there and not moving, right? Just taking up space. So that's a difficult one, but already a big win already. And the next one is how can we then kind of get the number of streets needed that those vehicles kind of drive on, and either that can be done through highly automated streets, right? Like you can I'm not sure if this goes too far off, but I'm really talking about the future right now, right? Is that the big problem right now that we have in cities is that there's this interplay from individual decisions of kind of drivers, if you will, so that just doesn't put a lot of throughput on the streets that we're driving on, right? And if you think about a highly automated system, right, and maybe with car to car or whatever communication system we'll have in the future, and they don't break, and there's maybe no traffic lights, then you can just on a much smaller and hopefully much smaller vehicles. So then you can get much more throughput on one lane compared to the 2 or 3 lanes that we have today in parallel, and where everyone makes their own braking decisions and have big cars that are empty. So yeah, that's where I see where I really hope, and we're trying hard to contribute to get there, and with our approach to get the streets where people or cars are parked, or these parking areas repurposed, and then over time also reduce the number and maybe the width and other parts of the streets themselves.
Okay, yeah, great answer. So you just said that you are contributing with Way to changing the picture or the landscape of our cities, and I think, Andy, you as a startup are already taking profit from lately government changes that we're going to put more into bike lanes. But is there something that afterwards also, Thomas, that you would really like the new government to change in, let's say, urban mobility investments, but also in regulations for startups or entrepreneurship?
Yeah, and we've seen the 1.4 billion program, I think, that has been released by the old government already, and I think we've not used all of the money, not even parts of it. So I'm quite excited to see what we're going to use it for before approaching the new government for new funding here. So I really believe in change here in infrastructure, and we see some changes already all over cities. So yeah, I think it's up to us also, because we're now in a great position of being a mobility brand, and we have the chance to develop great solutions for people out there. And what we can always do is tell the government to ban cars from cities, but that won't work. Actually, I'm not that guy who wants to ban anything or create any more rules. But if we have great solutions, on the other hand, change will come, and that's what we're working on. So we're really focusing on ourselves, on our solutions, and also on other solutions. So looking at Thomas with Way and the question before, Way is going to be one of the processes we need, because parked cars are going to be eliminated if every car is going to be steered by Way, or all the private cars are going to be reduced. So we're going to need less lanes for cars. Those are all great improvements in the future. So yeah, it's up to the businesses as well. And the framework is here. Some funding is here. Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe Thomas, do you want to get a go on the question?
Yeah,
I mean, everything is said.
Like when I moved back from San Francisco, it's like, why did you move back from San Francisco? Like much less regulation and like great talent and so forth. And I'm like super excited about the talent that we got on the team. It's just outstanding. But the other part on regulation is what I saw. And what we've experienced is that it's not true for every city, but there's a big support on from certain stakeholders, from the federal government, that we've worked with very closely in the past, as well as now in Hamburg, where we're launching the first service, where they really have this open mindset, right? And it's not this mindset that also Andy says, hey, we want to prohibit, like, I don't know, some things, right? Or are scared about technology, right? But really see the opportunity of what new technology can bring, right? And that they give it a go, right? And that they are fully supportive and pushing this forward. And there's always, then you can see, oh, what if this and what about that, right? But that you really put the opportunity and the benefits in focus, rather than always saying, hey, there's this and or there's this. And there's certain kind of for sure in the federal government, and hopefully now also in the new federal government. And I have very big hopes from which parties and the personas there, that this continues to be very, very open. That the right people are in the right positions to push these things forward. And yeah, we actually had very positive experience with the majority of the kind of the authorities that we talked to.
Well, lessons have taken, definitely such inspiring answers we had so far. We have to give a small reminder that our e-bike, SUSHI Bike giveaway ends in almost 3 minutes. Then the poll will be finished. So if you need to do some changes, feel free to do so in the last 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm going to do a small deep dive to another topic, entrepreneurship, and how was the founding situation, how was the atmosphere were you finding yourself in when you started your new venture, actually. Of course, you guys both are definitely role models for us or for the startups that we have tonight and all of the others out there. And even if there was a winning recipe to be a successful founder, of course, I think daily routine is one of those golden rules that you have to somehow get it right. And we had a question from our viewers as well. What is your daily routine and in what time intervals do you work?
Andy, do you want to take this first?
Yeah, sure. I'm struggling to keep my daily routine, to be completely honest. So there are months I have my daily routine with sports in the morning, etc. So I would lie if that's my daily routine for all the year. But what I pulled up and what I'm keeping for months now is the meetings start at 9:30 a.m. So I have some time in the morning to prepare stuff and to write emails and do some strategy work, because if you're working on a very fast startup, and I would consider SUSHI as one of those, you're so much into operations, and the time you get into the office or the time you wake up, you could have several meetings out there. So and when it all escalated, we had meetings at 6 in the morning, and that's when I pulled the trigger and said, okay, let's do meetings at 9:30. And yeah, there's a lunch break, which sounds super conservative, but it gives some freedom in the middle of the day. But everything else, there's no such routine for me, other than my morning porridge.
Great morning parts. It's awesome. Good. Thanks, Andy. I mean, I wish I could. Yeah. I wish I could tell you that, hey, this is what I do. The one thing that I really try to do, though, it doesn't always work, is to have one. It sounds maybe horrible, right? But one day a week, which is either Saturday or Sunday, to just focus on kind of friends, family, and myself. That I really try to do. So that's important. I think maybe the one routine I can talk about other routines that I try, work out every day for 15 or 20 minutes, which kind of more or less works, but not every like obviously not every day. The other thing that I mean for routine, if you're about to start the company, right, I just want to know that it's freaking hard work, right? And I know that people, I think, often try to say, okay, what's the routine, to have enough time for free time. Is just, at least for myself, and it's just it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of sacrifices, right? That at least, right? Like I'm not sure about you, Andy, right? But that you have to make to get through many humps, right? And you get things being thrown into your face that you have to overcome, right? So it's if you decide to start a company, it's really kind of hard work throughout the day. And I think there's a lot of nice things about routines which you should really try. But I think it's really important that you're clear about that it's really hard work to get it to push forward and perceiving or kind of pursuing your startup. Having said that, I mean I would encourage everyone to do it, right? Like if you want to do it, right? I think that's important, because I was at a point, it's about now 11 years ago almost, when I was at KIT. I just did my bachelor's, and I was like, okay, do I want to start now a company, right? Or do I do my master's? That was the decision I was being faced. And back then it was like, no, like of course you should do the master's. Like the split between bachelor and master's just popped up, and everyone was still with the diploma mindset. And if you're in such a position, right, where you like think about it and it feels good, I would just like do it. It's hard work, but you learn, right? And that's so important, I think, right now, right? At least depending on, I'm not sure who, I think the audience is exactly that group of people where if you do it, it's hard work, but you learn so much, and it's so, you have this vision that you pursue, but most importantly, you learn, right? Even if it doesn't work. And that's so important, right? Like the reason I really think why I got into Stanford, for example, right? In the US is not because I did like something great at KIT. It's because like I did 2 years after my bachelor. I said, okay, I'm going to do this startup, right? And I learned a lot, and we kind of, we failed, right? If you also, but more importantly, I learned so much that then allowed me to take the next steps, which then went to the US and like all these other things that I was that I then did. So I think it's just you should really face it. It's hard work, right? And the biggest benefit is that you learn, right? And then you take the next steps. And then if it kind of works out, and thank you that you said like we're there yet and so forth, because I feel like we're just getting kind of started, right? There's a lot of things ahead of us. That's just, I would encourage everyone to do that if you feel that's the right thing for you, right? And if you see, okay, this is something I want to dedicate my time on, and that it's okay also to fail, right? Like you should, I don't know, tell your parents, your friends, like this is like, absolutely, I want to do this, and very likely it will fail, right? But the big benefit is that you'll learn, right?
Yeah. So. Well, Thomas, you did the best intro that you could ever done for my next question. I want to ask Andy this time. Can you please describe how your first phases when you were finding SUSHI bikes was like? First 3 to 6 months, let's say. Can you please explain what you have gone through? How was it? What can you give to the founders of tomorrow? What they can learn from your experience of this early stage startup phase?
Yeah, and it's maybe upfront. So what we did as SUSHI Bike is completely different from what you usually hear in startup magazines or podcasts, because we're not a typically VC-backed startup, and that was the case from the beginning, actually. So when I built the first prototype, I went out there and showed the pictures and presentation to basically everyone I knew. And I was just hoping to get feedback on my pitch so I can show it to some investor probably at some point. But I wasn't quite sure where the way and the project will take me. So and then there was a very lucky circumstance that Yoko, our business angel, received a pitch from someone else, from someone I knew, and then we met and everything happened. So that was really a coincidence and something I would have never approached. So sometimes you gotta be lucky, but on the other side, I wouldn't have been lucky if there was no pitch, if there was my effort to send it to everyone, if there wasn't my will to get feedback on it. So I really forced to be lucky in that case, and everything else that happened later is just a very small family friends round, no VC round. So and that's something I wanna tell today, is that there are other possibilities rather than just taking money from VCs, which is obviously not bad. So we might need VC money in the future as well. But in the beginning, there are several ways you can try. And we tried the crowdfunding way with some business angels on the side, and then bank financing. So we were lucky enough to have a good annual report in 2020. So we're currently financed through debts from banks, which is very weird. And we would never get an article on Gründerszene or Deutsche Startups for it. But the amount behind it is probably the same as a small seed financing round. So what I want to say is there are so many different approaches, and don't just focus on one of those.
Okay, yes, that's really interesting to get both perspectives. I think maybe Thomas is more like the typical one, where you hear that the first, I don't know how many months or weeks, there's actually, there's always, it was a nice thing to say, if you're independent or you found your own startup, you decide over your time, but you have no time. So that's maybe just to quick numbers. Just how many hours did you work in a week? Maybe then or now for in your first 6 months, and then now maybe. Thomas, just some numbers.
For me, to be honest. First of all, I'd love to say one thing, right? Like Andy, what you said, which I'm also a big believer in, is you said that there was luck, right? And like one of my favorite quotes is actually from Thomas Jefferson, who said, "I'm a big believer in luck, and the harder I work, the more luck I find," right? And I think there's really some truth to this, right? Because you have to put quite some hours to push things forward, because there's nobody who tells you, you have to get this done, or there's no, deadline of any kind of exam you have to write or something like that, right? So, so to your question, I actually really enjoy working, like most of the time, not always. If I do, I work a lot, and I work a lot, and it hasn't really changed, unfortunately. Of the last 3.5 years. I think that has something to do also with the business that we're in, right? Because I've seen other founders, right? Because I also don't want to come across now that it's just a lot of work. Because I think it really depends on how, when you get to this, hey, I found product market fit. Now it's about, growing, and we're in a stage, we've developed a lot of technology, and we're now launching something, which is like really, really big, right? But we're still in the phases where we want to get the service out, right? And I've seen other founders who were after that in a stage where once after maybe 3-4 years, where you're in a really stable kind of state, and then you grow, and then you have really strong executives on your different areas that you can just afford to work much less.
How about you?
Yeah, basically Thomas is right. So you have to sacrifice a lot of private stuff while you're founding your business, probably. And I wish it wasn't so, but I guess there's no way around. So you have to build something from scratch, and that takes time, and that takes a lot of effort and thought. So you basically need to invest a lot. And that's what I wanted to add with the daily routines, is something that is here, but I'm not seeing as a routine as like the big purpose and the big vision you have to have in order to keep fighting, although not every day is great. So sometimes I wake up in the morning, and it's really hard because there are only meetings that cause like headache, and it's not a great startup feeling where you sit together and brainstorm and stuff. It's really like doing some bureaucratic things or talking to banks or something. So it's not always fun. What helps me then is to think about the impact we can have, and the the basic question is, or the basic statement that always comes to my mind is, I want to see more sushi bikes on the streets. That's what I'm striving for, and that's really catching me every morning. So talking about routines, that really helps. Don't underestimate your mind. I don't want to sound like Tony Robbins here, but mind is great, and mind can help you. So have the vision in your mind.
And maybe to add to this, right? Like I think, like, and this is, I just also want to make one thing clear, right? Like, I think, like, either I believe that either, you know, you should, like, if you want to, you should found, or you should join in like a startup, right? In an early stage startup, because I think there you can also, you know, have similar impact and similar, like work and a vision that is very fulfilling, and where you learn a lot, right? I think that's important if you have a good environment there. I just wanted to add to that, because what motivates me kind of every day is that I have this vision and this product in mind that Andy mentioned too, that drives me, right? And that's what kind of why I wanted to found, or also then join Zoox, which is, you know, this autonomous driving startup that I joined previously, or before I founded Away. Because how I always thought about it is, okay, if I wasn't there, right, like then this product wouldn't be there. And I find this super fascinating, and that can be true, you know, in smaller companies, and that can't really be true in big corporations. And that motivates me, right? Like I have this, like, I want to help build this product, and that I want to use myself, but that I also know many others hopefully will use, and it's good for society. And that just, you know, drives me forward. And it's super exciting, right? Like, how exciting is it that you work on some things like this, and in like, whether it's 8 days a week, 8 hours a day, or, you know, more, right? It's really trying to find that passion and that dedication to a certain kind of purpose that drives you. And I think that's much more exciting than spending 8 or 9 hours in a job that doesn't give that.
Yeah, it's great to see the passion in both of you when you talk. It's really fascinating. Another question, we talked a lot about maybe work and maybe not the most fun things of founding. So could you just describe a moment, maybe the best moment of your founding career, where you said, you look back to this moment, it was, that's what I'm all doing forward. You were so happy because this moment enlightened you, and you've made, okay, everything I do, everything I work for makes sense. Maybe Andy, you can start.
I guess it's two perspectives on that. It's like the emotional side and the rational side, or the business side. So on the emotional side, it's the last Christmas party. So we're currently professionalizing SUSHI Bikes, and we have a great CFO and CMO on board now. And that means for me that I'm not the only manager anymore. So we're more people on C-level now, which is great. And that's what I used the Christmas party for. And I recognized, we've achieved so much with this young team, which is so talented and did a hard work. So it's not only me working hard and long hours, it's also the team, and I really appreciate that. So that was the emotional moment. I recognized with all the 29 people in the Zoom call, that was incredible. And on the irrational business side, that was really the bank financing. So it was very difficult to get it, because it's a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of business planning. It's not only showing a great pitch, it's the other way around. So they don't care about great visuals or great graphics in your pitch. They care about figures, and you have to deliver. And everything we did from the beginning was looking for the best possible solution without spending too much. And that led to the profitability we had. So we were able to get the bank financing, and that felt like the big relief and the big appreciation from outside for what the team did, and for all the sacrifice we did on our salaries as well. So yeah, it all came together in that simple signing a bank tap. So it sounds weird, but there's a message behind.
Very nice. Perfect. Thomas, what was your moment of moments?
It's interesting. Like I was thinking about 2 moments too, which are very similar, I would say, to your parts with the team and the rational. So the first thing that came to mind, we had the big event where we actually launched, or we went on stage with the Senator of Hamburg, and, you know, a lot of media like Spiegel and like all the big medias, to actually do demos in Hamburg. And the night before, we had a nice team dinner, and just felt amazing, because it was like, I think there were like 13 people from Berlin or something like that, working on the setup, building up the offices, getting everything in place, having the exact order for the next day. That was just something, I don't know, I sat there and I was really kind of proud of the team that we prepared everything to such a detail. And like at that point I was like, if it works out tomorrow or not, it doesn't matter, because we did everything we was in our power as a team to get this done. So that was, I don't know, a very nice team feeling. And that's one. And then the other thing that somehow is stuck in my mind, it was actually our first funding, our Series A, where I landed back from back from London. And I turned on my airplane. I was still in the I think it was EasyJet, right? Turned it on, and then I had a term sheet in my inbox. It was just, I don't know, it was for the first time I was like, wow, this is so much money. So many like people actually believe in what we're doing into the team and so forth. And it was just, I don't know, it was a very good kind of external valuation of what we've built up to that point. So that's just something that stuck to me.
Yeah, very nice. It's great to hear, because it's both pretty interesting to see those two sides. Maybe you wouldn't estimate from, because maybe all the media, of course, and you see all the money, but also the little things. When Andy sees that maybe his little family now at work, it's really nice to hear. Now we're already good advanced in time. So I have one last question, which is always maybe a question that founders don't really like, but. Is there a formula to be a good founder? Is there some characteristics for a founder to succeed? And if there is, which would you say is yours, or can you suggest? Maybe Andy already again?
Yeah,
let's take Thomas maybe, because Andy always has to go so fast and think so fast. Maybe Thomas, you go first this time.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like I think if you think about founding, I think first it's the founding team, right? I think that's important, right? Like if you think about, there's two ways to do this, right? Like one very important part for the team is that that they bring different expertises together, right? And that you have a team together that can kind of at least get the next 2 years and like get rid of the biggest risks, right? And I think that's very important, right? So if you are a founder, then probably the first trait is, okay, what am I missing maybe to build this, what I want to do, right? And then there's two facts, because I often hear, okay, maybe you're not a technical founder, right? I have folks approach me like, I want to find a CTO, right? Like, how did you, like, and there I say, okay, maybe there's a way to say, hey, I'm going to push this forward and get this to a certain stage. So then I find the right technical person, for example, right? Like, for example, get the prototype and do your first tests, right? And maybe do a first product feedback session, and then you add someone on the technical side if you happen to have that challenge, for example, right? Because that's I hear that quite often from my network. So that's, I think, one, like thinking about like how do you, like as a founder, right? What's the right founding team, right? And the first hires that you get on board to then build what you want to do. So that's one. And the second one that I think is very like important, and again, it should be, I think, someone of your founding team, right? Is what is the big vision, right? Like, and it doesn't matter that it's maybe years out, right? But it has to be something that everyone gets excited about and say, okay, I want to, like, this big thing, I want to help create, right? And it should be very concrete, right? And it should be big, because it, I think, motivates and gets a lot of great talent onto your team. And to set this out, right? And then say, okay, well, actually, this is where we want to go. And we do this step by step, right? First, we actually launch something very small, right? And it's maybe a very dedicated, I don't know, niche on something small, but then we actually gonna find out more, and then we extend it to 3 more things and 4 more things and so forth, and then eventually we're gonna get there. And I just think that's very important for your own motivation that we discussed earlier, and it's also important to actually attract the, like, great talent, right? And also VCs and so forth. So I would say these are the two things that come to mind.
Okay. I promised myself to not give advice to people on how to be the best founder, actually, without knowing their personal situation. But like several things that came to my mind actually is that I've not done everything right from the beginning, probably. And what I would have done differently is get people on board who have experience in that specific area. For example, financing. That really makes sense to have someone if you're not good in finance. So in my case, that really made sense. And I wish I've I would have done this move a bit earlier. So that will be one of the investments that is very helpful. And yeah, again, have that passion ready. Think about it every morning. That's basically on the emotional side, which is quite helpful. And there were many different, many other points which I forgot already. But also not striving for perfection all the time. So sometimes the 80-20 Pareto principle is useful. So save your time. Sometimes you just have to do it, and yeah, that's another point. Just do it. It's nothing can go wrong. Question things that might be out there as a requirement. For example, if you apply to accelerators, they might tell you one requirement is that you're not a solo founder. For some reason, we still managed to build SUSHI Bikes, even though I was a solo founder on the operational side. So every accelerator declined, and we never raised like institutional money in the beginning, which is kind of sad. So just question those things. You can do it your own way, probably, if you just do it right and if you're lucky, and if you're forced to be lucky again.
Well, that's a note to end on. Just do it.
Definitely.
Thank you so much to both of you.
Thanks so much for your time, definitely, for sure, on the first hand, and kind words. And we will go on a break, I heard.
Exactly.
Can I say just one thing?
Yes,
I just
both of you.
Reiterate this because like I highly encourage everyone to, if you think about founding, like do it, right? Like you see with Andy and like myself, whether it fails or like for myself, right? Like my first one failed, right? Like it's so rewarding to learn, and then based on that, I was able to do all these other things. So I highly encourage that, or you join another startup that you're passionate about, because it's and not necessarily go to maybe something that feels much more safe, which are maybe big automotive corporations that have like from the past still a certain reputation. But I would just say that that your learning might very much be limited. So yeah, just do it if you're thinking about that. And yeah, if you want to get any support, I'm sure Andy's open to be reached out to. Also myself, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. We have many internships open this summer. You can just find that on LinkedIn on our website. With 30 seconds, you can apply, or whatever is on your mind. Please reach out, because I'm really passionate about encouraging people to do more what Andy and myself and many of you are about to do. So that's very exciting.
Well,
thank you very much, Andy. If you have any last words.
Those were perfect last words. I totally agree, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Truly inspiring. I learned a lot. So we'll definitely hear something from you. We'll keep updated. And now we're just going to take a little 10-minute break before we get to our award ceremony. So the jury already made a decision, but we need a little break. I think you need a break too. Maybe already the champagne can be served, or not served yet, depends on who is winning, but we'll be back
on the desk.
Exactly. We'll be back in 10 minutes. See you then.
Let it grow like a small seed in the soil, like the Big Bang in the void, a giant leap in the dark. We will make it, 'cause when we fall we grow.
Welcome back. It is now, the last part of the final end of all of Grow, the entirety of Grow. We are going to take a look at the prizes. So these prizes are going to be given in just a second, but first we want to take a look at what the viewers and the spectators did decide. It won't have any impact on the decision of the jury because those decisions are already in an envelope sealed. We both do not know yet what it is.
I have no clue.
We have the same feeling as you at home.
Yeah.
So we're just going to take a quick look how the others how you at home did decide which startups are the best, which did the best pitch. So let's take a look.
Well, we had 137 participants taking actively part on the SUSHI Bike voting that we had. And let's see now what the audience top 4 was for tonight. Well,
we lost it again. Now.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
4th place was Pembe with 64 votes. The 3rd place was Rainy with 67 votes. Bliro, 76.
And who did you vote first? It is
Junior Job. Wow,
wow.
they
And both,
tied.
But they both, tied. Wow. Okay, that's super interesting already because it doesn't say anything. They're really tied, all of them.
Definitely.
So wow, that's
I
great.
didn't expect it.
It's great to go to the next step. So.
But to be honest, at the end of the day, it was so blood, tears, sweat invested in the last 11 weeks, maybe even before, maybe hopefully even after. So all of the teams who took part in this growth journey deserved a prize, definitely, for sure, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It was, I mean, we just saw the progress in these 4 intervals, so every 5 to 6 weeks. And it was, great to see just little ideas are now full-on startups and are ready to launch or have already launched a product. And all of that in 11 weeks, that's quite impressive. They can be so proud of it. That's, of course, there are some who did just a little bit better job. I'm pretty sure the juries had pretty tough decision.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we discussed it just in a break. We couldn't, settle either. So let's take a look, right?
Well, maybe first let's go a little bit slow and see who won the 3rd place.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
Anna.
So, let's look at the 3rd place.
Well, it's sealed and we really don't know who is going to win the 3rd prize. Do you have some commentary on it?
Yeah, let's just take a sneak peek. Just
3rd place, obviously. Wow.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, very interesting. I didn't expect it personally.
Yeah. Okay, then.
But then, Aude?
Well, let's just say some few words because the startup had a quite impressive job, and Smart Eden, you won the 3rd prize. Congratulations! Well, that's a prize too. Smart Eden, you can switch on the camera. That would be great to see a reaction. All of you would be great, the 10 startups, to turn on the cameras. So, congratulations. Now there is the jury. So Albert and David want to tell you why you deserve this prize. Please.
Yeah, I think this is where I come in. We really liked the energy in your pitch and all this progress that you made throughout the last weeks, and we really enjoyed hearing your pitch. And I think overall your product really fits into this broad narrative of people wanting to grow and harvest their own food, kind of this back to roots mentality that comes up or came up in the last 2.5 years more dominantly. And I think you've built a great product which looks super nice. And I think that could be a nice purchase for many people out there who want to kind of incorporate this into their lifestyle. And however, we had some concerns regarding pricing, and I think we also had that in our Q&A session briefly. I think we could, it would be interesting to iterate a little bit on the business model, maybe move a little bit more towards a subscription-based model and less of a let's say, initial purchase with a high pricing tag on it. But I think this is just some basic business model iterations that every startup is going through at some point or the other. So yeah, that's one of the feedback that we would give you as well.
All right, thank you, David.
Thank you.
And I think Albert, you are also people who are quite excited about the project, and maybe you have some additions.
Yeah, David, thank you. I think you already said a lot of the topics that we discussed internally in the jury. One advice that we have probably is your current customers will be people that have a garden already. So probably it will be interesting in the future to also think about having an option to have a smaller product that also fits on a smaller balcony, or later also go into some indoor products that you can use indoor. And yeah, as David already said, we think that you're going on a trend that is already there about sustainable food and also clean eating, and to know what you eat and that it is pesticide free. Yeah, so I think we all in the jury think that it might be a great product, and we hope to see it in the future in a friend's house or on a balcony.
Thank you very much, Albert.
Congratulations. Yes, just to give you a quick look at our prices, we would so much love to give them right to you in your hand, but you have a chance to come and get them and meet us, or we'll send them to you. But huge congratulations. To put this in numbers, you just won 2,000 euros of cash, and 1,500 euros worth of employee placement from Workwise. So huge congratulations. You've definitely earned it.
Well, by the way, I have something to mention. Those awards are made with love from PionierGarage in Science Innovation Lab. Thanks to Science Innovation Lab for somehow leaning your equipment, by the way. And I guess we can go forward with the second prize.
Let's move on. It gets a little bit bigger.
Well, do we do our traditional sneak peek routine first? Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, it's a startup. Yeah, it's super interesting because it's a startup who has, I think they've done all of the work doing Grow.
Yeah.
So they definitely stand for, yeah, the passion of Grow and the core values of Grow. Yeah, just tell them. I think they're going to die.
Yeah, definitely. They already got 5 stars, 5+ stars on the progress chart, probably.
Absolutely.
Well, it's an honor for me to tell Symp that they won the second place. Woo!
Huge congratulations. And now, Michael and Heiko, you want to tell them why they've earned it.
Yeah, congratulations to the entire Symp team. We really like the great drive you've shown. I mean, you have presented this with a lot of enthusiasm. You are part of the target group. That is something that we also want to give you the idea of maybe adding a woman to your team as well, because that is also part of the addressable market, of course. We really like the overall concept. It's such a simple idea. It's been out there forever. People meeting up and matchmaking, has been around forever. You created a very, very simple way of using modern technology to support that with your app concept. As we just heard, I mean, you made tremendous progress during the Grow contest. You started with just an idea and you really built it up to the status of where you are today with a prototype, market validation. You had some good ideas how to resolve the hen-egg problem. That is the main challenge you will see in the future how to actually grow this, but we feel if you keep up the drive, this can really hype. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Mika has some comments from you.
Yes. Okay. So congratulations from here too. And I have a small advice to you. Perhaps think about using your technology also in the business world, like for example, for business meetings. As example, we organize like every year a big meeting also with Allianz together, and it would be nice like meeting with other guys or business people there, and perhaps trying to get in contact with them. So perhaps try to use your technology for closed events or for business meetings. Perhaps that's also a new market for you. But we think it's a good idea, and we really loved your presentation and the market research, and really congratulations.
Thank you so much. A lot. Great advice. Yeah, and if you want to support us and give us more hints or tips, you can already follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. We set up some profiles, and yeah, we'll be posting the next weeks our progress, how we advanced, and eventually when we launch the app officially.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks.
For everything.
You can get your prize from here, or we will definitely send you. But not only this prize you got 3,000 euros project budget from Grylls, and also on top a work-wise recruitment package worth of 2,500 euros.
Wow, it's getting higher and higher.
We are very generous this year, definitely.
Thank you. Thanks to our sponsors. That's why we're able to do it.
Definitely.
Okay, now we continue with the sustainability prize, and it's a prize that, this year has a high prize money, because it only has 1,000 euros in cash, but 5,000 euros are coming on top with an RT fellowship. So it is 6,000 euros just for you. And I think I was impressed of how many startups were focusing on sustainability, and I think that's the right way to go, because it's definitely there will be no startup in the future or no company who is going to be super successful without at least getting in contact with this topic, because it is addressing our biggest problem, climate change, and so it definitely is the right way to go, and that we will love to support you with the money and with the prize. Let's.
Are you ready?
You took it. Okay.
Wow. Do you want to announce it? I just turned the envelope.
Yes. Aufklärwerk, congratulations. Wow, amazing. The jury would like to say some words.
Well, Markus and Katharina would like to say a couple of words.
Yeah, please go ahead, Katharina.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations, guys. I think you showed a lot of the entrepreneurial spirit that we do want to see. And regarding sustainability, societal change, and especially tackling the social divide is one of the most pressing topics, I think, close to next to climate change and so on. So I think that's a really important topic, and what you're providing is young people to benefiting from the experience from older people, or from people who have gone through a traumatic event, through something in their life that's been really impactful. And I remember when I was in school, and we had this one woman coming by. She was like 90 years old, and she left a really large impression on all of us. And I still remember this course, and all of the other stuff is pretty much gone. So I think that's really cool, and I would love to see more of that. And I think what is really strong also for you to measure your impact in the lives that you touched regarding students. So that's a cool thing. And what's entrepreneurial is you are combining resources that are already there. So you have these students, you have these people, and you're just connecting them. And I think that can go a long way. Markus.
Thank you. We all think that this idea is super interesting and very critical, as Katharina already mentioned. Nevertheless, I think we all thought that you can aim higher as well. You are a social startup, you are a social company, But nevertheless, there's more potential in there that you can start grow and use. Not so much depending on donations, not so much depending on external resource, but also rethink about how can you actually scale and grow this company with a bit more enthusiasm and with higher goals than you showed us today. So there's room for that, and maybe the RT Fellowship is exactly the right place to continue with that and start building and rethinking also a bit of the business side of your social endeavor. So congratulations.
Well done.
You can say something if you want to.
Thank you guys so much. We are very, very, very delighted with this prize. We didn't expect it because there are so many great competitors. Everybody here who pitched has great ideas, showed great spirit. So we're even more delighted that you chose us for this prize. It means a lot to us. I think we can make very, very good use of this money. And also looking forward what the future holds. As our previous speakers also already said, you can follow us on social media. You can see our progress, our journey continues. And we hope to make all of you proud and show that the trust in us was right to do so. And also thank you, PionierGarage, so much for it.
It's a pleasure. It always is. Then I think there are two prizes left, because first off there's the first prize, the winner of Grow 2021-2022, but there's also the prize for you at home, for the viewers who were able to guess the winners and are now already probably looking at the guesses and saying, oh my gosh, if the last one's right, I'm going to win it. So I think the suspense is rising.
Definitely.
And it will be rising afterwards also. So yeah, I mean the first prize is always a great thing, because we had a lot of successful startups coming out of Grow actually. But it doesn't mean that if you're out already or you didn't win anything in the final that you won't be successful. Some of our most successful startups actually went out of midterm.
Yeah, definitely.
So everyone has the base. But of course, now the winner will have a huge support for the next few months or years. Depends on how fast they're going to spend their money. So they have 4,000 euros just cash on the hand, and another 10,000 from the Workwise employee placement. So that's quite a lot of money to handle.
Well, we will cover up the next steps when we announce the first prize. But as a last small, I told from myself, never give up if you're very passionate about it. Even if you didn't make it in Grow, you can make it somewhere else. You can still make it. So please never give up on your idea or your venture. Please reach us if you need support, somehow mentoring, buddy or sparring partner. We will try to help you as the PionierGarage, definitely for sure.
Always.
I think that's a little bit, too much talking. Let's take a look to our first place. Well.
Okay.
Do we do it together? Yeah.
Okay, we try. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Junior job!
Congratulations! Wow! You learned so much. Wow, impressive. Congratulations! Wow, absolutely amazing what you have done, what you have achieved. I don't think I can't believe it yet. We just saw you. That's great. You've definitely earned it. Yes, we love to see your smiles on your faces. So let's hear Nikolaus what he has to say. Maybe some advice and why you earned this prize.
Yeah, congratulations from the whole jury. We are very happy to hand out the first prize to you. And one of the reasons was that from all participants, your market need was most visible. It is very clear that there is a need for junior job in this world. And then you're coming and you're very passionate, you have loads of energy, and you're in the exact right age because you know the target audience. And finally, you've made great progress during the Grow program. I mean, when Grow started, you were already very much still very much at the beginning, and just look how far you've come so far. So we're sure you're seeing a great future, and good luck and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, congratulations. Yeah, we'll stay in contact. Here's your prize. You have the highest one. But they're all in wood, so we try to stay sustainable. Yes?
I just cannot believe that it all ended somehow, you know?
It's not finished yet. Don't leave us yet, please. Because if it would break our heart if we would finish it already.
Yeah, we still have a lot to give, actually.
Absolutely. So, yes, the last prize actually of tonight that we're going to give away is SUSHI Bike. So thanks also to Andy and his company for founding it, so that we can give it away. Yes, we're going to take a look. Okay, you see the little thing down there, and it's going to start doing something. We hope so. Okay.
The highest.
One of you guessed the winners right. Wow, that's a low margin.
I'm
so
very
I guess
impressed.
there is nothing to be decided about. Just with the right guesses, you made it. So let's see who this person is. She or he will already know. It is. Well, I love your animations. So a big thanks already to the tech team. Is the name coming out or doesn't want to get revealed?
Timo Taubmann.
Timo Taubmann, congratulations.
Timo, contact us and you will get your SUSHI Bike. We promise about it.
Absolutely. Wow, great. Yeah, that's. I didn't expect that to really have all four and only one having all four. That's pretty great. Just write us, so contact us please, that we can get in contact with you, and then we'll order your right size, and everything's going to be handled. And you have very soon you're going to have a nice bike with the Grow logo on it.
Definitely, for
I mean
sure.
that's extra special actually. I would just take the Grow.
Special edition,
yeah,
you know?
absolutely. So let's just take a look at the next steps, because all of you aren't done yet, and all of you, even those who didn't win, I'm sure they're keen to continue and to push their dream and to put everything into they believe. So let's take a quick look at what you can do. First off, the first place, and of course every other can apply at least for a free Launchpad office access for 6 months. So everybody has the possibility to do that, to apply. The first place, there is a place reserved for you here. The office is right next door. I am looking at it, and I would love to see you right there if you have the possibility. Well, that would be great to see you just here.
And of course, then if you're a founder, Sifted is place to register and keep your knowledge updated and see what's going on in the founders market actually. And of course, you will get Sifted membership if you would like to help to the teams out there. Please feel free to reach us if you would wish for such a membership. It's on the house of PionierGarage, obviously.
Yes, it is. Exactly, so it's important that all of you can contact us if you want to get your prizes, because we don't have any information yet from your side. Also, we want to do a little publicity for the KIT, especially event for us by the Gründerschmiede, who was presented before by Professor Hirth. The founding event Impulse. It would be amazing if we could take part. It definitely is a lot to learn. Yep. Yes, and then of course your work-wise recruitment packages that you have won. Very welcome to use. Make sure to use it, because they're not going to give it away for anybody else. So come back and use them.
Definitely. Maybe as a short info, the KIT Gründerschmiede Impulse funding is taking place on 2nd of February, and it's completely online on Zoom. Go to their website, you will see it. It's going to be focused on funding options like Exist or going to VCs, how to approach them, how to prepare my pitch deck and so on. I'm pretty sure it will be very interesting for some teams of ours.
Absolutely. And now, before we say goodbye, we would like to ask the most important person of this evening, but well, except the startups maybe, to come on stage. Jannis Böning, head of Grow.
Wow, what an amazing show. As Aurel would say, many thanks to Merve, many thanks to Aurel for being the hosts for our big 3 events. That are the events that the people out there see, and we try always to engage with the teams and the people to get them together, and that's where the magic happens. Thanks to you, and congratulations also from my side to the 4 winners of this year's Grow competition. It was a great pleasure for me to being part of this, to being the head of this year's Grow for the past month, since May actually, and a great pleasure to work with all the people here together. They're sitting here right now. So I ask them now to come on stage. Please wear your masks and come here, everyone who's free.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Amazing. Everyone.
So I hope you can hear me, and now you see some of those guys who work hard to make this possible. Thanks to a lot of PionierGarage guys, the PionierGarage, for making this possible, for the partners for making this possible, and all guys who are with us. And I didn't know that. That actually looks amazing. Wow, very nice. Paul, what's this?
Yeah, I can say a few words. So, actually, Jannis, this isn't all for you. A little bit of the stuff is for you. So everything right here in the middle is for Jannis. And then all those little plants are little growth plans for everybody who has helped organize the event, so that maybe in a few months you can see the plants blooming in a similar way to what you did to this contest, which you did bring it to blooming, and we want to thank you for that. And also we have a little flower for Jannis to also signalize this metaphor, so to speak. So we thank you all for your service to the organization, to the startups. Yeah, and we hope you're happy with your little giveaway.
Thank you so much.
So all of you have a nice evening. We have a little cozy ending, so lean back, enjoy the last scene. I think it takes a few seconds, so for this time
maybe before we just finish something, because we want to maybe tell our others that there's still a Grow happening next year.
Actually, that's right. That's the most important thing I forgot. So, I said it was a pleasure to work with those guys, and actually it was batch number 9, and after batch number 9 there's batch number 10, actually in the next winter semester, and we plan this contest, the whole contest, in the summer semester. So next semester it will start, and it's it's possible for you to be part of this, to host it or to be part of the team. It's very. You will learn a lot. It makes a lot of fun. So it's amazing. I just can encourage you to message us via mail, or just come to our launch pad here to the PionierGarage, meet those guys, and maybe you will be part of the next batch. So, with these words, all said, I think.
It is.
So, last picture from this year's Grow. Bye-bye. See you. Have a nice evening.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Turtles with a mad mind, looking out into the night sky. Yeah, we just never dared to try, but tonight we got our hopes up high. Call us dreamers and seekers. Maybe one day we will get to know the secrets we've been looking for, pushing the boundaries. We will reach a breakthrough, let it grow. Like a small seed in the soil, like the Big Bang in the void, giant leap in the dark. We will make it, 'cause when we fall we grow. There are choices we all have to make, and advice that we are gonna take. In the end, when we stay true to ourselves, we find answers all along our way. Things may look way too hard, but we just need to try over and over. So what if we just start? With every step we get a little closer. Let it grow like a small seed in the soil, like the Big Bang in the void, a giant leap in the dark. we will make it, 'cause when we fall, we grow. Let it grow like a small seed in the soil, like the Big Bang in the void, a giant leap in the dark. We will make it, 'cause when we fall, we grow. Like a small seed in the soil, like the Big Bang in the void, a giant leap in the dark. We will make it, 'cause when we fall, we grow.